on a very basic double standard. This country was founded by slave owners who wanted to be free. Am I right? A group of slave owners who wanted to be free. So they killed a lot of white English people in order to continue owning their black African people so they could wipe out the rest of the red Indian people and move west and steal the rest of the land from the brown Mexican people, giving them a place to take off and drop their nuclear weapons on the yellow Japanese people. You know what the motto? You know what the motto of this country ought to be? You give us a color, we'll wipe it out.
Is genuine hope. Yeah, Trump has many powers. Talents. One of them is he is very good at making what's the worst thing about you the truest thing about you. He's very good at that. He's very good at kind of reaching into somebody and saying, this thing, this weakness you have, I'm going to make that more true. Whether it's animus towards immigrants or embracing their ambition over their politics if it's a politician. But one reason I think Trump was able to get back is because there was a big hole, and everybody listening will be annoyed at my saying it, but whatever. But the bully pulpit, Joe Biden, he left it open, and we didn't understand how big of a price we were paying for not having a vocal, aggressive, relentless advocate for democracy, for just empathy, which is something Joe Biden I think is very good at, but had lost his ability to communicate well. And if we can start getting leaders and influencers, it matters now, it's the world we live in, to kind of reflect those values more, suddenly a lot of people that were open to Trump might remember some good parts of themselves. Because I think people are complicated. And you're right, in every person there's a bully, but in every person there's always an empathetic part of them as well. Donald Trump does a crackdown on immigration, terrible crackdown. And what happens for the support for immigration, just itself as a good, rises.
No, anti-immigration.
Anti-immigration sentiment plummets. Support for immigration itself, irrespective of the policy, rises to 80%, highest it's been in decades. There's something that you can turn on in people. That's what leadership is, and we need that. It's been absent. I think it's possible.
No, I agree with that. I mean, of course, and like historically, it happens.
Yeah,
you can push back. And you can, change people's minds if the sadness, the weight of it. But like, what happens to, like, I've become sort of obsessed with this idea of these, these angry white dudes that you were talking about that were untethered, and many of them, the whole sort of angle of, Democrats used to be like, they're voting against their self-interest. That used to be the big thing.
Yeah.
How does that happen? Because it feels good to be angry. And
well, you can't tell people what their interests are is one thing.
Well, I guess, but I'm just economic.
Yep.
Right. So, but now it's like, I don't want to get more grim. I'll stick with, yes, maybe people.
People in my business who were single issue Republican voters, and their issue was twofold. I mean, they were anti-woke, against any policy or language that could help the vulnerable get a leg up, and God knows that makes sense. So, but they also were very worried about their free speech. They didn't want their free speech to be infringed upon, which it never was. I mean, they'd say things and there'd be cultural pushback, and they were like, that shouldn't be allowed. But ultimately, all they really wanted was to be able to say the R word with impunity. That was why they voted. But along with that, comes the collapse of the federal government, the destabilization of the global economy, tens of thousands of people being deported to places they might not have even come from, the actual suppression of speech and rights of LGBTQ people and women, and the rise of authoritarianism. And sometimes I feel like asking them, was it worth it, you fucking retard?
All right, you assholes. Woo! Fuck yeah! Hey everybody! It's me. I'm Dane. And then here's this guy. He needs no introduction.
I
But let's
don't?
give him one anyway.
Bob.
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 How many times?
Jesus Christ, stop saying Bob.
I feel called out.
Why? Are you feeling a little paranoid, man? What's going on? Okay, get back in here. Come on. I got a
The
question
joke
for you,
never
Bob.
gets old. The joke never gets.
I got a question.
How would you like to die today, Bob?
Yes.
I mean, for real, how would you? You know, like, okay. I have a suggestion though.
And what are we gonna do? Just like ride Bob into the sky?
Yes.
Come back. We gotta ride you into the sky.
I am really against these ideas.
All right, fine. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Welcome everyone to the thing that we do on this day every week. For a surprising number of weeks, for a surprising number of years now. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's a couple years now. Jesus.
We've missed a handful, but like not a lot.
Yeah,
not
no.
really.
I mean, we've taken weeks off, but I've definitely taken weeks off. But yeah, it's
You've taken a lot of fucking weeks off. Jesus Christ.
hey, listen, you've done a couple too, so
I've done a couple. I haven't taken enough weeks.
You haven't
off,
done nearly as much as me, but yes, we've all taken weeks off. But like for the most part, fairly regularly, we've been doing this on Wednesdays. Like there's occasional Wednesday where there's no show. But that is very rare. So
Hey, we got a super sticker
We're
from
awesome.
Green Rock.
Hey,
Was that 30 sex? You're gonna give us 30 sexes? What I don't what's that? What's that mean?
I'm not sure, but I'm willing to bet that whatever it is, it's probably like translates to about 25 cents USD.
I'm 6'2".
But thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
I'm 6'2". I don't know if you knew that. That's true. Totally true.
I'm 6'5".
I don't know if Eric's gonna make it today. He might not. It's okay. He's got stuff going on. I hope that goes well. I believe that Chariot will be joining us shortly, and I hope that Ryan joins us because the thumbnail was and the title was his idea. I'm not to put it too much on him, but he mentioned something about the wacky racists. Like the wacky races, and I was like, that's kind of funny. I'm gonna see if I can make a logo from their original logo, and I managed to do it. And then I was like, well, now I wonder if I can slap one of these chuds' faces onto the characters and see how that looks. And so I did, and yeah.
Oh no.
But yeah, so we'll talk. The Gary thing, the Nerdrotic thing. That's just kind of like that's a hook. I'll be honest. We're not going to get too deep into it. It's just that he's been bouncy in his chair a lot lately. If you've seen any Nerdrotic videos lately, I'm sorry that you had to watch that. But you might have noticed that the dude is really, really bouncy. Like, it's kind of wild.
It is $3. It's Swedish. Okay, good to know.
Seen no videos on those anti-woke grifters complain about the bad guys too due to introducing the bad girls. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, that is definitely like a children's franchise. I was vaguely aware of Bad Guys 1, and then Bad Guys 2 is coming out. I was like, oh, I guess that got a sequel. As a dude who has kids, I was like, it was on my periphery, but like that's about it. Like my kids never asked about it or anything. So I just
that's crazy. In Gary's theoretical defense, I hate to do this, but I got to be real. I have the ADHD, and some days you guys probably seen it or heard it, where some days I'm just like fucking hyperactive, and I bounce and my leg will bounce, and I'll just be kind of like moving and stuff like that. When I'm not medicated, especially, it's pretty bad. But so it could be something like that, just to be fair. Or it could just be that he's fallen off the wagon. He's on the fucking shit again. I mean, who knows?
listen. Ordinarily, I would be against making fun of somebody for a past habit, especially if they've gone past it. But fuck Gary.
Yeah.
I cannot stress that enough. Like Gary openly brags about how he essentially uses internet social media to propagandize people, to push out bullshit, and sells it pretty much like crack, using his own words.
I don't get the
So
I don't
fuck
get like
him.
I don't get an overly like the vibe of him having like too much testosterone, to be honest.
So it's a low testosterone thing.
Maybe so.
Maybe he has too much soy.
Oh, that does explain my leg bounce though, because I'm full of that tea. You know what I'm saying? It's coming out of my ears.
True. I mean, yeah, when my leg bounces, I just know I'm like, Jesus Christ, I wish my testosterone would just calm the fuck down. It's just
So by the way,
so much
that
to deal
Mark
with all the
Mark
time.
Maron clip, that joke that I right before did the intro with the R word, that is an acceptable use of that word to tell a joke. I think, in my opinion, I think that's serves its purpose well.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's not using it to target people. Well, to a degree,
He's targeting
using it to
people
target
who
he's not,
just
like,
wanted to be able to say that, and so they voted in fascism. You know.
Yeah.
And if there is a worthy target of being called that, it would be those people. That's who I typically have used it for.
But I mean, we definitely have some stuff to go over. I got a couple clips from his latest podcast. He played a little bit at the beginning. I don't know if he meant to do that, but I rolled with it. But
yeah, I did.
Okay.
Because I needed to get up and get something, and all the clips I had loaded up were like only a minute long, so I needed something that was long. And then I haven't heard of it either. My son is into Dogman, but I don't know about Bad Guys. So no, we probably should talk about at some point the Peacemaker backlash, because Peacemaker did a bisexual orgy or whatever. So
I didn't know that. I have not caught up with Peacemaker.
I mean, not even really. He just kind of. He I forget if he had sex with him. Anybody tell me? Or if he just kind of moved on after making out with the dude and a chick for a while. Anyway,
I mean, he's on a little journey of self-discovery, which kind of has been the whole series. So he was in a
pretty low spot. He got rejected. How's it going, Chariot?
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Pretty good. Have you seen Peacemaker at all?
Oh man, no,
Have you seen
I don't
the
think
Suicide
so.
Squad, the James Gunn Suicide Squad?
It's the one with Polka Dot Man, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it while I was like working on stuff, so I wasn't like giving it my all. I actually, you guys are gonna be proud of me. I've been watching a ton of superhero stuff lately. I watched in the past like 48 hours, like 3 or 4 different Marvel movies, for a video that I'm working on.
Nice. Unlike what they say, it's not a perfect track record. There are definitely gems in there, but like the track record hasn't changed a whole lot since just because Endgame.
No, I'd say that, overall there's very few of the MCU that are just like bad.
There's quite a bit of meh, and there's always been that meh.
What I've been thinking about,
flat out bad, no.
Because I remember we talked about like which of the films that I thought worked, and the video. So I kind of want to split it into 2 or 3 different videos. I usually do this where like I start out with like one mission, and then I like have so many different thoughts. It's like, well, that's not going to all work in the same video, so I got to split it up a bunch. But I've been coming up with I think right now my thesis is I want to do one about Captain America and one about Black Panther.
Nice.
Very interesting.
I remember saying something about because I was actually, this is so crazy. I've been working really hard on some video essays, and I've had to like read a lot of books and like research a lot of stuff. And in the process, I've come across some really interesting stuff, and it gave me stuff to say about Black Panther. And I was like, oh, I should do Black Panther. But it's like, well, I really want to rewatch Black Panther before, because like that's just the thing to do, is like I got to rewatch it to write the video. But then I was like, no, I also want to watch Wakanda Forever, and I want to watch Ironheart, and I want to kind of get like a better kind of context for it, and like rewatch kind of all the Black Panther related stuff together. But then I was thinking, I was like, oh, I also want to do that video, because I said something on stream recently where I was like, I actually don't like Civil War that much. And then I was like, oh, I should do like a Civil War video while I'm at it. And then I was like, well, no, I can't just rewatch Civil War though, because I gotta get the context. So I have to go watch Winter Soldier. And I was like, well, before I can watch Winter Soldier, I should really watch First Avenger. So I've been going back through a bunch of those movies. No, it's interesting though. I realized I think Winter Soldier is my favorite Captain America movie.
Oh, easily, yeah.
A lot of people say that's like their favorite one of the Marvel movies.
Of the ones with Captain America in the title, I mean.
I think a strong argument can be made it's my favorite MCU movie.
It's pretty good. I was kind of surprised. Like I was like, wow, this is a lot more like drawn together. And it's like more of a spy thriller. And I was like, oh, this is kind of the type of stuff that I really like. First Avenger was pretty good. There was a line in it that I want to talk about in the video, because it's like the end of the film. Captain America and Red Skull are fighting, and Red Skull has this like banger line where I heard him say it, and I was like, whoa, based Red Skull.
The one about flags, whatever. So
yeah, he was like, I have seen the future, Captain. There are no flags, and it's like that goes so hard.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't like coming out of a Nazi,
if he wasn't a giant Nazi, yeah,
if he wasn't like literally the most evil person in that film who isn't like Adolf Hitler, you know. That's but I like this. I like a lot of the scenes that Hugo Weaving has in that film, and I like a lot of the actors that they bring in to do the different parts and stuff. So yeah, that's
oh shit. I have some good news here. Just kind of unrelated to anything, but I just came across it. You remember that lady that was throwing slurs at the black kid on the freaking playground a while back?
Oh Jesus, yeah.
Calling him, slurs and shit. And like, she was charged with 3 counts of disorderly conduct.
Wait, who?
That Shiloh lady, the one that from a few months ago. Here, I'll show you.
The lady with the GoFundMe where she called the kid the N-word. Is that?
Yeah.
Think they're the same one. Yeah. Oh man.
Yep. Good for her. Good for her.
Wait, she did it again, or is this charge
from
that
time? The same thing. I think it just took a while.
I was gonna say, I was like, Jesus, what a minute.
She's got to get in our GoFundMe, and everybody's gonna give her money. She's got herself a grift.
Oh yeah.
Just yell the N-word at kids, just like, oh.
That's tough.
It wouldn't surprise me if there was a grift set up like that. God, that is.
What up, ripoff verse? How's it going, man?
First Avenger is the best Marvel movie. It is pretty good.
It's solid,
having just recently rewatched it, I do think it's pretty good. The one thing I have to say about that film though is rewatching it, I kind of feel like it takes a minute to get going. Like I almost felt like maybe not halfway, but like 40 minutes to an hour into the film, it's like you're starting to get to the scenes where he's like first actually like rescuing the prisoners and fighting the Nazis and stuff. Which isn't necessarily bad, but a lot of the actual like stuff that he does in World War II is kind of, you get it in like little compilations and montages and stuff in the film. And I kind of wish like it could almost have been 2 films, if you know what I mean. Like there's enough stuff for him to do. I don't know if that would work, but it could have been longer, I guess. And maybe that would have been worse, but part of me was just watching it thinking, wow, I wish I got to see more of like the stuff that they're kind of passing over. Because that's actually one of the best parts of the film.
Well, I mean, that
like taking out the
montage
different
is pretty
factories
epic,
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say one thing that I don't like about Winter Soldier, if I have to say one negative thing about it, it's that they, for some reason, and it's just Disney, man. I don't know what it is with them. They do this with Star Wars too. They're like obsessed with CGIing over the faces of actors to make them look more like characters. I wish they would have just gotten an older woman to play the character of Peggy when she's because she's older and Cap is like visiting her in the hospital.
From my memory, it looked pretty damn good. Like I didn't.
I thought that was makeup.
When I was maybe it's just rewatching it, but when I was rewatching it, I was like, maybe, and part of it could be like seeing it on a computer monitor instead of a theater, but like I was watching it and like her face like moves really weirdly when she's like talking.
Oh.
And I was like, old people's faces don't really look like that. I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like I kind of feel the way about it that I do about the way they did the Luke Skywalker.
Well, that one
CGI.
looked weird.
Well, Luke Skywalker was definitely CGI.
You had Disney
Yeah.
doing Marvel and Star Wars at the same time, and sometimes these things that came out in the same year almost. And the Marvel ones would generally, the face thing would look pretty fucking good. It was like I usually couldn't tell anything. And then the Star Wars ones were like, what the fuck are you doing? The Leia one at the end of Rogue One, you know,
And the
just like-
Tarkin one as well, in
Dude,
the same film.
Tarkin Tarkin drove me nuts because when they first introduced him, like you see his face in shadow, and I'm like, that's a smart way to do it. If you don't quite have the CGI, just do his face in shadow.
And then they
it's
have like
that's
other
acceptable.
scenes where he's not.
And then no, they literally like they show his face is down, and then he steps out of the shadow. It's like, oh no,
Yeah, that's tough.
bad. That one.
That's how old people's necks look, Lucifer. Jeez,
She looks weird. It's her neck. Well, it's just the way that like when she moves and she's in the bed, if she moves too much, her face kind of like slides around a little bit. Like if you and maybe I don't know, it could be just like seeing it in a different context, but it was something about it. What it reminded me of is the Oblivion remaster, the way that Oblivion's face models are rigged when the characters talk. It kind of reminded me of that low key. I was watching it and I was like, oh, this is odd. But then it kind of made me sad because I was like, you know what? I feel like we're entering into this era where it's going to be like these companies would rather CGI actors than like just cast somebody new in like a role to play them for a film.
Yeah.
And that's tough because like when Pedro Pascal did Mandalorian, one of the things that he tried to do is to get them to show his face in the series so that he as an actor would then be tied to the character, which is really smart. And that's something that like actors have struggled with in terms of job security for a long time. It's really hard to be an actor. Like I'm sure, you know, once you get to that level, it's a little bit easier, but like actors really struggle for a long time, the vast majority of them. And I just feel like it's got to be really tough, you know, especially to like be like an up and coming actor and to be seeing all of this, because you have to think like, what if you were the next Luke Skywalker? Like, here's what I would do if I was doing like, because they did him in The Mandalorian, but he appears in something else, I think.
God, it seems
Book of
somewhat
Boba
familiar.
Fett. Book of Boba Fett. There's an episode with
That's right, yes.
Grogu and the Mandalorian in it. That's what I was thinking of. And I just kind of like if it was me and I was like working on that series, I would be like, oh, wouldn't it be cool? We should bring in like Mark Hamill and he can like consult like a new actor and like, you know, to do what kind of a version of what Ewan McGregor did when he was modeling his acting on Alec Guinness and on the old like footage of Alec Guinness. That would be really cool.
Lots of people point out this, and I think it's kind of obvious. Sebastian Stan actually looks a lot like a young Mark Hamill. It's like he's right there.
It's so crazy. You know that like somebody in casting had to be thinking that, right? Like they had to be. I don't know. It's just strange. It's just odd because it's Marvel unnecessary, right?
Yeah, the
Holy
Marvel
shit,
offices
guys.
are right across the street. Go get him. Go. What were you saying, Dane?
I got a kind of a crazy thing here. So the Toxic Avenger movie that's coming out this week, I guess, partners with a organization called Undue Medical Debt to erase at least $5 million in medical debt. So it's final week of marketing and promotion for the Toxic Avenger, and the teams have decided to do something a little different. Rather than spend the rest of their marketing budget on a stunt or a campaign, they decided instead to join forces with nonprofit Undue Medical Debt for a much more important cause.
That's kind of fucking awesome. Yeah.
So there'd be $5 million, you know, in medical debt erased no matter what. And for every $1 million the movie makes at the box office, another $1 million in debt will go up in smoke.
That's really cool.
That's
super cool. It's fucked that it gets to this. You know what I mean? That anybody even has to do this.
Yeah. The fact that medical debt exists is a massive stain.
I think it's a pretty brilliant. I mean, it is a bit of a stunt, kind of, but it's, you know, pretty good one. You know,
it's a stunt for doing the right thing. I'm willing to give them props for that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't heard of that nonprofit. I'll have to look into that. That's kind of neat.
Crazy. Well, All right. Well, then that makes me want to see the movie a little bit more. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't heard too much about Toxic Avenger. I only know the song from Fury, the Carpenter Brute
Have you
song.
seen the trailer or anything for it?
No.
It looks so cheesy, and
Yeah.
the big thing I'm asking for is I want, like, he's not going to win it, but I want Dinklage to go for the Academy Award in his performance. I want him to.
Do I spy an Anders profile pic in the chat?
And
Space and Goats. Is that Anders from Dragon Age? Because that's awesome. That's
I thought you were talking
Anders,
about
my goats.
Galactica.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's check out this trailer for anybody that hasn't seen it because it's fucking good.
Oh yeah, it's so cheesy. It's awesome. I can't hear anything.
Oh, I did not share my audio. I'm a dumb.
Usually you get crap for it. You shouldn't. He's goated. Anders is the best. I love him.
Political extremists have taken hostages downtown. Somebody do something!
Wait! Stop! We'll get to all of that. Just relax, okay?
We'd lost Shelly a year ago. These days, it's just me and the kid.
It looks great.
I'll just scrape off the black part. That part's pretty good.
No, give it back.
I don't want to hurt him.
Why didn't you do anything?
Sometimes it's better to do nothing.
It's going good.
You're saying that this corporation would knowingly poison its own customers just to boost their own profit margins?
Summon the nuts.
Okay, summoning the nuts.
I didn't want any of this. I'm a monster.
You're not a monster. Show him your good heart.
Hey, buddy, I'm your dad.
What the?
I wasn't even involved. But sometimes you gotta do something.
Who the fuck are you?
Just some dude with a mouth.
I'm spinning the air, holding hands at the
How does it feel to be a hero?
A simple melody.
Do you realize what's at stake here?
Everything!
Find him, bring him here.
There you are. Only the good things, that's all that matters.
That was just self-defense. You haven't killed anyone else, have you?
See, when you say self-defense,
He's an ugly son of a bitch, though. That's all that matters to me.
The Toxic Avenger.
That's what the kids are calling him. I think it's swell.
Yeah.
Well, speaking a little bit of the Toxic Avenger, I will be watching the first one for the podcast next week.
Oh boy!
And also,
yeah.
In
In the opposite spirit of the opposite spirit
for
of
Thursday.
That movie is mean. It's just kind of mean. It's got a mean spirit.
It's trauma. I've seen trauma movies before. I've not seen that
The
one
first
specifically.
thing
But
that
I've seen
happens
trauma before.
is they run over a child's head.
Yeah, I've been told.
Pretty upsetting.
Jesus Christ!
It's
trauma,
rough.
man.
It is rough. Like
you could literally tell me anything will happen in that movie. I will believe it because I've seen enough trauma to know.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Oh, fine. Just leave. I see. Yes, Kevin Bacon. That movie has a wild cast. You get Kevin Bacon and Elijah Wood in there as well as like the villains. It looks like, which is absolutely insane. And getting Dan Waters' books signed sounds awesome because Dan Waters is one of those writers who's popped up recently, and I really enjoy his stuff.
Hell yeah.
But yes, Elijah Wood. But yeah, I actually just recently rewatched. Well, not just recently, but in leading up to the new Captain America movie, I rewatched the Captain America movies, and I was like, these are solid. The new one is definitely my least favorite, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to. You guys are gonna hate me. I'm kind of baiting with the thumbnail for the Captain America video a little bit.
Yeah.
But I had a funny idea for the thumbnails for some of the superhero, the Marvel and DC stuff that I'm working on. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really actually one of the videos that I'm cooking with the hardest is the Fantastic Four video because
Ooh.
I haven't seen anybody else with this take, and I feel like that film has kind of already passed out of like the consciousness of like video essays. Everybody's still talking about Superman. I think that's probably like that. And when did Sinners come out?
I think it was in between Thunderbolts and Captain America, somewhere in that range. Because
I was gonna say
say
Superman's probably like movie of the summer, but I don't actually
Yeah.
remember exactly when Sinners.
Sinners
first
did not
came
come out during the summer, although that's a pretty big conversation piece as well, because that movie did extremely well for its limited budget and is pretty fucking awesome.
Came out in March. Okay, yeah, spring. All right. So I was gonna say I wanted to say movie of the summer, but I was like, wait a minute. I know Sinners came out this year. When did that film come out? Because it took me a while. It took me a while to see it.
But
oh,
I
April,
will say,
not March. Oh, okay, yeah.
But
I'm gonna watch the Anders video after the stream. Hell yeah! I'm the one of us who does the Dragon Age videos. Sorry, Bob, I keep cutting you off.
It's all good. I was just gonna point out that I'm excited to actually show my kids Thunderbolts because that just hit Disney Plus. And then when I can actually get a physical copy of Superman, I do plan on doing some essays on that. I liking the physical copy though.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, their movies lately have really been pleasing me. Because I was right in there with some of the people talking about like, you know, Marvel fatigue, which I don't really think is like a thing with like audiences per se, but I personally was kind of feeling it for a while. And then like Thunderbolts came out and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And then Fantastic Four came out and I was like, oh yeah, this is good. And now I'm kind of back in. So you know what?
Well, I mean, I think such thing as mid or bad movie fatigue exists. I think superhero fatigue is kind of a broad statement that like doesn't mean a whole lot. I think just because once there's a good superhero movie, all of a sudden the fatigue's gone.
Yeah, I mean, that's how blockbusters are, right?
Yeah. I mean, after Thunderbolts, I was like, oh shit, I'm pumped for Fantastic Four now. Fantastic Four was pretty good as well. So
I mean, Superman is definitely, I think, probably more. I mean, definitely more of a thing in the U.S., but he's known the world over. He's got probably some of the best brand recognition, right?
Oh, easily. I mean, he's probably the most famous illegal immigrant ever.
Yeah.
Despite what some Superman actors say.
Somebody got 5 pounds here.
Hey.
Hi guys. Any of you aware of the growing wave of fascism in the UK at the moment in the Fly the Flag movement? Nerdrotic has started grifting it. Thanks. I didn't know that.
No.
I mean, I know that there is a growing fascism around the world. It's just a thing that's happening. Been for a while. And
I had seen some of the quote unquote like child safety internet authoritarianism that's going on in the UK right now.
Oh,
that's pretty bad. I was aware of that. I love talking to my UK friends about their politics because they call Keir Starmer Kid Starver, or I've also heard Queer Harmer lately. I don't know. He's a man of many names. But yeah, there's always a lot of hate for people in power over in the UK. You know, it's very normal.
Oh, I didn't know we had another mass shooting.
Oh yeah, just recently. Yeah,
I didn't know that either. But that is
I had been seeing, well, you know, because
It's way
the way
too
that
common, which is frustrating.
the way that I find out about stuff like this is people are always saying that it's like trans people every time. So
they're currently trying to do that with this one, apparently. Even though I guess there's some kind of like group of far right people that are like kind of instigating this kind of thing. I don't know. Organized group of far right suicidal school shooters, and somebody saying that this person very likely going to end up being linked to them. It's crazy.
Yeah, like they keep on trying to misdirect trans people, but it keeps on being far right lunatics, like pretty fucking consistently. Very few exceptions. Very.
Look at the domestic terror stats, and it's just by far and away far right extremists. It's not to say that there's not any there's some anarchists, I guess, and then I'm sure that the whole what's his name, the guy that Luigi got, I'm sure that's counted as left-wing terrorism, even though it shouldn't be. It should be counted as a fucking public service. But
well, I think technically, I mean, not to be that person, but I think Luigi Mangione, I don't think has been convicted yet, has he? So
no, he hasn't.
I mean, I guess we'll see.
He's gonna be, he did that shit. I don't think he's even, has he denied it? He's not like.
I don't know
think
what the plea is. But I don't know. That was just a weird situation.
I mean, I think just to set the record straight, I do believe two wrongs don't make a right. However, if we look at the actual data, who is responsible for the most deaths? Luigi Mangione or the dude who he killed, which I can't even remember his name, but the insurance.
The United Healthcare CEO.
Yeah, who has certainly declined many claims for people who need life-saving treatment.
I was going to say, guys, sandwiches they're cool. You can throw sandwiches at federal agents legally now, or at least you won't get a felony.
yeah, with an asterisk on that, maybe.
I would suggest an Italian, because all those cold cuts probably going to sting a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Well, yeah. I don't think the nationality of the federal agent should matter.
Oh my god. Got me. All right.
I would suggest an Italian. It's mostly white guys. I mean, it is like that, I mean,
you like that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, we can go into some Poloff jokes, maybe. But yeah, we're going full racism, aren't we?
Yeah, for sure.
Against those flags have been taken by the far right to represent something that they're not meant to represent, so we're taking them back due to them meaning freedom and togetherness. Counterpoint: I've seen the future, Captain. There are no flags.
Oh God.
Oh man, yeah, shit's real bad right now. Well, I'm here in Illinois, so
oh dear,
we've got Big Boy Pritzker in charge.
Yeah, the so far one good billionaire, was that what he is? Or
well, not that there are any, but in our current environment,
terrible to bad but not awful. He's kind of like, I guess, on one side, right?
I will be marching with the Forest of Spears when House Pritzker calls its banners. So that's going to be a bad time in America if they do genuinely end up in conflict with the Trump administration, because he's been talking about sending National Guard to Chicago, and then he seemed like he was kind of backing out, but who knows what's going to fucking happen. It's crazy.
I mean, his brain is fucking liquefying daily at this point, I think. It is. I mean, he said yesterday or whatever that he's, a lot of people in Europe consider him the president of Europe, the president of UK or something.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
What the fuck is he talking about? Oh, by the way, happy birthday to Jack Kirby. Would have been Jack Kirby's birthday today.
Shout out.
He's man. There's one from Richard Pace. Friend of my channels.
Kind of redirect back to the previous point. I think part of the issue, like we all remember that disastrous Trump-Biden debate, and part of the issue why Trump looked better, and that is the fact that like both Biden and Trump are kind of losing it. Their mental faculties aren't all there.
It's
Part of
and
the
just
issue
like
is that
the
Trump has like
violence
turned
thing.
that into his brand. Trump,
Just like the violence thing, where like it's objectively true that they do way more of it, and then also it's the same thing where they're really fucking good at controlling narratives, man. Like they don't,
Mhm.
you know, and it's also the media. The media should be covering this at least as much as they covered Biden's fucking mental, decline. But yeah, they're. The thing with
Well-
Biden, though, is like, you know, he was losing his shit for sure. His brains were liquefying, but he had people around him that weren't fucking insane. You know what I mean? So like there was at least some degree with it, but the people around Trump are just, you know, probably every one of them is just looking for their opportunity to, you know, see some kind of power.
I think part of the distinction also is that like Biden was more of a Reagan scenario where he like genuinely had like Alzheimer's or dementia, and his people in his inner circle were like hiding it from the public.
Yeah.
As opposed to Trump, who is like always part of his public appeal is that he's out of his fucking mind. So
Yes.
like kind of like you guys said, like it's kind of the brand.
Yeah.
But also like I've come to this point talking about the like, you know, the far right where like I think the individual people who are part of that movement are just as much to blame as the figureheads. Because I think the figureheads, while they do propagandize and they do like trick people sometimes, it's kind of endemic to the movement. I think the way that it works is that they exist to embolden these schizos who follow them.
Absolutely.
And that's been part of what I've been sticking on lately.
I mean, the reason why it's still important to focus on the figureheads is because they are emboldening them. Like you do have people like this, and it's good to try to curtail their worst instincts. But then, like, we have people like, you know, celebrating these worst instincts, and that is that's very bad.
This is a very good point that Morgan makes here. Why haven't you liked the stream yet, guys?
That's a good point.
Watch it. You haven't liked it though. What's going on? Is your hand broken? Use the other one.
The anti-vax thing was a bottom-up thing. Yeah, sort of. It's the anti-vax thing is a great example because it's a case of this being what it really all is, which is like it's partly top-down and partly bottom-up, where like you get these top-down grifters, which are the kind of people that we talk about, but like, you know, just like with YouTube grifters in politics and in the news, it's kind of the same thing where like the people who latch onto it are a part of the problem. Like their bad faith and their hostility and their bigotry is in some ways the real center of that movement. And that's kind of part of like how I see when like people in the Republican base are like criticizing like the Trump administration for not releasing the Epstein files. And like, you know, I remember thinking about this when Ben Shapiro's base was like, or not his base, he's not elected, but like his fans were like yelling at him on his YouTube channel and stuff about the Luigi Mangione situation and the killing of the United Healthcare CEO. The thing that like, because Ben is a crazy elitist. We talked about this with the Superman review. He fucking hates poor people, and he's not too keen on Arabs, and he's not too keen on black people either. He is a massive elitist. Anything that anybody could say about like the most condescending like liberal elite and the most like effete liberal academic you could say about Ben Shapiro. He's just not as successful and interesting or smart.
True.
So like he's just a more resentful and like curdled milk version of those same people, but he hates the people who he grifts. And yet they kind of know that he's a liar and he's out of his mind, and they kind of know that he hates them because every time he says something, they're like, you know, Ben, you know, I agree with you about like trans people, but you're out of your mind about the healthcare situation. And it's like, well, because I think people know Ben's whole deal is he wants the rich to get richer. That's his whole vibe. When you hear him talk about economics, it's impossible to miss. So I just kind of feel like that's sort of the thing that I keep like sticking on right now.
So Bob, I see you have your article there. I have something we could look at real quick and then transition to that.
Okay.
So,
real quick, Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat, wherever that is. But yeah, Jenny McCarthy, I remember being the first big public face. Jim Carrey, to a degree, as well.
And I think Oprah as well, by the way. There was like a book that was written about it that she platformed. If I remember correctly, there was a thing about that.
It used to be anti-vax used to be a left-wing movement, and then come COVID, and it just gets completely taken over by right-wing movement.
well, but it was a fringe left-wing movement, though, was the thing.
Yes, yes,
it
that's
was never
true.
like and that's a lot of the stuff that like we looked at last week or whatever. A lot of the stuff that RFK Jr. has started implementing was originally fringe leftist shit. And yeah, because it's stupid, the right glommed onto it pretty well.
Yeah.
So you guys know who the two most trustworthy people who don't have any bias, they don't have any axe to grind or anything, and you can trust them whenever they criticize Marvel, is Bo DeMaio and Rob Liefeld.
Oh, I thought we were going to say
yeah. They have no connection to Marvel at all, so they'd be completely unbiased in their
Bo DeMaio is not
Marvel,
trying to distract from the fact that he was fired from X-Men 97 for, being a sex creep with his coworkers.
Yeah, reportedly being a sex creep. Nothing's confirmed, but his inability to come up with a counter argument is kind of damning.
His counter argument is Marvel sucks.
Yeah. His counter argument is, well, if you want to know the real story, sign up for my own
Rob
thing.
Liefeld, on the other hand, he's bitter because he didn't get invited to Wolverine and Deadpool, he did get invited to the red carpet. He just didn't get to take pictures with Kevin Feige and stuff, and he was really, really upset about that. Anyway, they apparently Jake Schreier has begun working on the X-Men movie, the director of Thunderbolts. So they started working on the X-Men movie. Anyway, there's this post that's kind of going around on Bluesky, where this dude is just like, thanks to Bo DeMaio and Rob Liefeld, they pretty much revealed what's going on with Marvel. They're not even reading the source material over there. What an absolute mess. That explains all. It's like, dude, you don't need to read. I mean, you really don't. You don't need to read more source material. You need to know the characters, sure.
Yeah.
But you don't. At this point, the characters.
Well,
you learn everything you need to know in the movies. Sorry, go ahead.
I highly doubt. Well, I was kind of talking over you, but I highly doubt that they are completely ignoring the source material. But more importantly, Marvel has never been like super strict comic accuracy. This idea that Marvel was like comic accurate before, like, never happened. Like, Marvel kind of gets the spirit of the characters, and that's kind of about it. They kind of do their own thing with it. Like, Infinity War and Endgame were obviously strongly based on the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. But, like, are they, like, similar? No, there's lots of liberties taken with it. There are ideas taken from it, but the story is kind of its own thing.
As somebody who's read a lot of these comic stories and stuff, I don't want them to be, like, super accurate. I mean, like you said, the main thing that matters is the characters are, recognizable as, the characters they are in the comics, and they are. I can't even think of a character that's like, and in many cases, they define the characters better than the comics have in a lot. Like Iron Man, Thor is way more of a relatable person instead of just like a kind of a god that you kind of have just to observe from far away in the comics, kind of thing. And yeah, it's and then look, you fucking Thunderbolts is awesome. Jake Schreier, I think, is going to do a pretty good job.
As somebody who was really disappointed when I found out they're not following the original comic run, I walked out of Thunderbolts. And I was like, that was fucking awesome.
I mean, it did honor the spirit of the kind of bait and switch, for lack of where they did
they definitely did the bait and switch at the end. Yeah,
what the comics did too. So like, it wasn't the surprise reveal I was expecting, but it was one. And it's pretty good.
And yeah, I'll be honest with how the story was, like how they were marketing the story. Like, even I was like, this feels more like a new Avengers than a Thunderbolts, but okay, we'll see what they do. And
one of the so we didn't really talk about this. Like Chuds still say that Marvel changed the marketing last minute after the movie came out and it didn't do well, so that they could try and juice the numbers. And it's like, no, they didn't.
That's what the movie always was. That's when
they would have had to change the movie to, like, it makes perfect sense that they after the movie came out and people started, learning what the the surprise was that you said, okay, let's might as well just go ahead and call it this now.
And that's the thing, it's still largely called Thunderbolts. I just looked on Disney Plus and they were like right on the front page, they're advertising Thunderbolts now streaming.
The official name I think is going to be Thunderbolts, but you know,
Thunderbolts asterisks.
anyways, let's check out this Disney bullshit because Disney wants to sell it.
So I have actually not read this article. I have gone over Critical Drinkers coverage of this article, and the chuds jumped on this, which you could probably guess.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm kind of thinking Variety is just making their business model, making chud bait, because that's what
the one that's owned by somebody that is was part of the attempted hostile takeover of the Disney board last year. I think that's what I remember.
Possibly, I don't remember for sure.
So I think they have an axe to grind too. You know,
but this is I remember seeing that both Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker on the same day released a video about this article, which is Disney's Boy Trouble. Studio seeks original IP to win back Gen Z men amid Marvel Lucasfilm struggles.
Well, I mean, they're certainly using this to, I don't know what all it says, but based on the headline, they're probably using this to kind of say, oh, see, we're right. But the headline is actually saying they're not trying to change what they're doing with the material. They're just trying to find new material that they can, hook people with. So.
Well, I mean.
Is that the writer?
The writer is, it's Matt Donnelly.
Matt Donnelly. We should get that one guy back on sometime.
Yeah.
You remember the Forbes
Mark Hughes? Yeah, Mark. Yeah. Well, if he writes a counter argument to this, I will be happy to have him on and discuss it. Because, I guess we can go ahead and start going over some of this. Leadership at Walt Disney Studios has been pressing Hollywood creatives in recent months. Multiple sources tell Variety for movies that will bring young men back to the brand in a meaningful way. Young men is defined here by sources as ages 13, 28, aka Gen Z. First, every film studio is looking for a better way to convert young audience into habitual moviegoers. Yeah, like that. First diving into this, that's my first thought. It's like, yeah, of course they are. Everybody wants to do that. Numerous studies show that Gen Z men in particular are lonely, gaming-obsessed group who are hampered in their formative years by COVID-19 lockdowns. Not the easiest segment to grasp, but what's surprising producers, writers, and other partners in the larger industry is that Disney has been calling for original concept to lure the demo back to the movies.
That's really interesting because I think I've also said this where it doesn't feel good to kind of live in a cultural environment where everything feels like it's a sequel or a prequel or an adaptation or everything, well, it's cool to have new stuff. So I think it's interesting that they would try that.
Well, what I think is interesting is a lot of this is just the sources are saying, but there's nothing really specific. I'll be honest, to me, this reads kind of like they're pulling out their ass. But
is Variety saying that they have a source, or are they alluding to something else in the news? What's the wording in that?
Writers, partners in the industry, is that Disney has been calling so this sounds like a rumor. Producers, writers, and our partners in the larger industry are saying that Disney has been calling for original concepts to lure the demo back.
Are there any sources down in the article, any quotations or anything?
That's a good question.
Well, two insiders say the mandate.
Insiders say
so they've got a private source, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is possible.
That's not too abnormal for coverage like this. Okay, I was wondering how they were gonna talk about it because you're right. In that one sentence, it does kind of say it almost sounded like they were talking about a rumor. But I guess they did.
Is this what Eric covered? And because I haven't watched his Valiant Renegade video yet. Is that what
I saw that? Yeah.
No. Oh, and real quick, low watermark. It is good to see you back. Thank you very much for the super chats.
Hey.
But honestly, yes, Disney was the unrefuted king of the box office last year. It will win again this year with 2 films potentially crossing 1 billion, Avatar and Zootopia. 4 movies from 4 Disney labels have grossed more than 1 billion in the past 16 months. No other studio has had one in that time frame. So it's staggering to rival studios and deal makers as Disney is looking to blaze new trails after years of being envy of the town, having counted for so long on sure things from the world of Iron Man and the Jedi.
Wait, what?
Much has been written about the narrowing audience for superhero movies. The performance of the Marvel's latest release, Fantastic Four First Steps, was aimed to launch yet another superhero franchise led by Pedro Pascal. Vanessa Kirby failed to meet expectations. That's despite good reviews, a promising opening weekend, and the full attention of Marvel czar Kevin Feige. Star Wars has not produced a film in 7 years.
Oh, The Mandalorian's next year. Yeah, I forgot about that. I wasn't sure
Yeah, the
how committed
Mandalorian
they
movie is
were.
supposed to be next year.
The male loneliness problem isn't a myth. The causes for it. I mean, there's legitimately an issue there.
Yeah, no.
The thing that gets the reasons that people like to say are not accurate.
Yeah, well, it's also
I
you
mean-
never hear about the female loneliness problem,
I mean, if
right?
men
Yeah,
are lonely, then
so,
they
yeah,
probably didn't
it's yeah. So like that's the thing that I feel like it's generally ignored. COVID isolated everyone, and now almost all dating, frustratingly, is done online. Which I guess there are advantages to that, but there are massive disadvantages to that. I mean, online is a lot of.
I read a
gameplay,
piece recently
but-
that made this point. I'm trying to remember the phrasing, but it was something like the loss of third spaces was a 5-alarm fire, but we didn't treat it like one. And I think that's the absolute truth. I think that you know, the idea that like everywhere you go now, it costs money to be there or it's inconvenient to get there, you know? Like
Mhm.
remember when people were talking about 15-minute cities and you had people like Sargon of Akkad tweeting stuff like it was going to be like Stalinism, like it was going to be like
Yeah,
Soviet Russia,
of
the
course.
15-minute cities, and it's just one of those things where it's like no, you should create community spaces and sustainability that's local to where people live. That's actually good. You'd think that a bunch of like nativist nationalist fuckwads would like understand that like being reliant on your immediate community actually has some kind of merits, but I don't know.
Oh God, it's this
Ryan,
guy.
what's up, man? Hey.
Yo.
Hello.
I mean, hi. I mean,
I heard you mention Sargon of Akkad, and I thought I'd better jump in to defend.
oh God.
Not him, but
yeah.
People with your accent.
other people. Yes,
Yeah.
other people from this country who aren't just lying propagandists. Because
I do.
what was funny about that whole business about the 15-minute city is that in the UK, that's what we have. We have 15-minute cities. Basically, everything that they were describing is how our whole country is laid out. So for him, knowing that, to come in and say, oh, this is Marxism, this is Stalinism, it's just ridiculous. Because if it is, then he's been living with Marxism his entire life. And
I'm starting to think that guy might be dishonest or something.
I
Yeah,
remember
possibly.
being like, this was my experience, and I haven't been to England in a while. I remember being in London even, and like even in like downtown, like the experience of like just walking around was pretty convenient. But I especially remember when I was studying abroad in Ireland, I was in Limerick for quite a while, and I was in Dublin for a little bit. Not the UK, but obviously next door. And still, like it was like the way everything was laid out. I was like, oh, I can just go to the grocery store, and then I can go here, and I can go here, and the bus system's very convenient. They've kind of got with like the way that certain neighborhoods are structured. They've got versions of that in certain places in Chicago and in New York, especially in some places. But it is not a universal experience at all being in America. So I just think that, yeah, it's tough. Like transit and the way that like communities are planned and laid out is a real challenge here.
You've been challenged, Ryan.
yeah, I'm not sure what he's saying isn't true, but my understanding of 15-minute cities is that the idea was that rather than building these sprawling suburbs of identikit houses where cities were zoned in particular ways that sort of reduce the amount of residential, or currently reduce the amount of residential places, that they wanted places that you could, was it walk everywhere you needed to go in 15 minutes?
Yeah, I think it has to do with like 15-minute, like a 15-minute radius around your domicile being like your transit time for you know, like basic like goods and services and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was my understanding. Was that 15-minute walking or driving?
I think it would be like walking or biking.
Yeah, what
or
would
like
make more
bus.
sense? Because yeah, I mean, most towns and villages have services within 15 minutes of some description. You can get to a supermarket within 15 minutes in the car, no problem. So yeah, I'm not sure what the challenge is from
In
rip-off
Chicago,
goods.
it's tough because depending on the time of day, you can spend 15 minutes on like the same 2 blocks in your car, but like you can get a lot further walking sometimes because traffic's just terrible. It's
sure.
like
I mean,
driving in the city is bad sometimes. Like you depending on where you are.
One problem we do have here, which is similar but on a much smaller scale, is that new housing developments tend to be only for houses. So in the old days, you would have a mixture, and in old towns and villages, you have a mixture of pubs, shops, some takeaways, restaurants, things like that, and houses. Whereas the newer developments, they tend to not have any amenities, which is a problem. But talking about the scale of things here, you're talking not that many houses, and still you're not that far away from the local amenities. So I would be interested to see rip-offers expand on what they meant.
I mean, maybe it depends. I guess it might depend on where you are. Like if you're some places in the UK being like more rural, it could be a different experience. I don't
Well,
really know.
yeah, definitely. If you're rural, then yeah, you're talking a longer commute to get anything. But that's the point of being rural, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah, I'd be interested as well because I don't. It's been a long time since I've been to the UK.
Bringing it a little bit back to this article because we still have it up on screen. Kind of my conclusion going through it just now is kind of like they're trying to make a big deal out of something that most every studio is trying to do. Like, Disney wants to bring Gen Z men into their audience. Yes, everybody would like to do that. Like it's trying to make a big deal and focusing on Disney and Marvel and Star Wars, but it's something that like all studios are doing. So it feels like a nothing burger, kind of just designed into a hit piece on Disney and Marvel, which is frustrating. Especially since like there's so much you could go after fucking Disney for. Like Disney has like a 40% market share.
You know
and then
what?
going after them for just doing normal shit.
What does this even mean, man? Jesus Christ.
This actually happened a couple decades back. Do you guys remember when this was a big headline about like companies trying to get millennials to buy stuff? That was doing the rounds in the news for a couple years there. I kind of remember that now. I mean, I was younger at the time, but yeah, I feel like this is just kind of a cycle that we go in where like different generations have different buying habits and companies are trying to figure out how to hook them.
For a time, there was definitely a lot of newspaper coverage. I think it was pretty much universal, and it still goes on about how millennials can't afford to buy houses because they buy too much coffee from Starbucks or avocado toast.
Which is crazy because like the avocado toast argument, like I think that was kind of a thing that came along a little bit like parallel to what I was thinking about, but the stuff that I was thinking about was more like millennials aren't buying like cars or stuff like that, or like they're not
it was
part of cable or whatever.
It was part of what I sort of saw as all wrapped up in the same thing, where basically any industry that wasn't performing well, they would blame on millennials not engaging with it anymore.
Yeah.
Millennials
and
really
I-
killed the Little St. James industry. That's the name of
Well-
Epstein's Island, by the way, for anyone in the audience who didn't get that joke.
We're such jerks.
Yes, it was really weird because it's like, what did they think that millennials were spending money on? Because we couldn't afford to do anything. We still
Yeah.
can't afford to do anything. That's why we're not buying stuff anymore. It's because housing prices are ridiculous and people are
I'm
either saving.
extravagant and spend money on rent and electric and internet. I know I'm a wild man. I'm a wild man.
Because there was a weird habit, I don't know if you guys had it in the States as well, a weird habit of articles being like, I afforded my first house before I was 22. And the article would always, 100% of the time, contain a small paragraph somewhere in there, which it would say, my parents gave me a £50,000 deposit for a house.
Yeah.
Every single time.
That resulted in one of my like favorite memes ever, where it was like those articles that got popular for a minute. I know what you're talking about now, where it was like where it was like, I make like 6 figures and live in LA and I I am barely like scraping by, and it's always like some like article, like, which by the way, like the cost of living and stuff in LA is ridiculous. I don't mean to like belittle that, but the articles that get circulated though is always somebody where it's like, you know, I spend like this much a year on rent and this much on like stuff for my kids and goes down the line, and then it's like some buffer at the bottom where it's like $40,000 and it just says like entertainment or various expenditures. And it led to that meme that people circulated on Twitter for a while where it was like, please help me budget, sir. My children are starving. Oh, man.
And some of the variations as well, like I run my own business without graduating college. And again, the line is, after my father gave me his business when he retired, I was able to continue running the company.
Yeah.
A small $1 million loan from my father.
That probably emboldened those people if you think about it. God, that's so pretentious.
Yes.
And I think journalists are just really struggling to find anything to write about, and I think they've always done stuff like this where they've taken rumor and gossip and genned it up into a full article, which actually says nothing. Disney is trying to get more people to buy and watch their stuff.
No.
I didn't end up taking this job, but I was at one point when I was going through some like job offers and stuff and applying for some stuff a while back. There was like I forget what like gaming news website. It was like IGN or The Gamer or something like that, and they were putting out like positions that were like low pay just to get people to write articles for them, and the number was like 50 articles a week that they wanted you to do minimum.
Jesus.
So if you're thinking about that on like like that's on a 5-day work week, which it would not be, but that would be like 10 articles a day. Think about the amount of writing that you have to do to like pass that. You know, it's legitimately crazy. And I'm not exaggerating, by the way. Like that was the number that was on that job listing. So like when people talk about the state of journalism online, it's because it's all stuff like that. It's just we need more and more clicks. We need more and more clicks. We need more and more.
Yeah,
ad
I know. I've heard about like reporters having a tweet minimum per day. A number of tweets are supposed to be pushing out every day. There's all types of stuff like that where it's like.
That's why a lot of them are still on Twitter, I think, right?
Better or worse, yes.
That's why they get so mad on Blue Sky all the time because people yell at them.
Yeah.
For baiting engagement. Yeah, that site's not perfect, but I do like that it has built-in mechanisms to punish people for bait. That's like actually good for like the social media environment.
I mean, they do the one thing that all social media should do: actually follow their terms of service, which is why chuds get frustrated because they get banned all the fucking time because they just do big shit on there.
Yeah, although they've spared a couple people who I think are pretty clear, like bad faith. Like Jesse Singal has an article there for some reason, or an account there.
Oh, I didn't know Jesse Singal was still there.
Yeah, I don't think they ever banned him. I think they might have suspended him like for a day and then brought him back, but I think he's still there. And there's a few people like him who are like,
that's pretty gross.
yeah, I think it's the Twitter thing. This is how Twitter started to get bad back in the day, where it's like, if you're famous enough, they kind of let you get away with it. That's why Steven Crowder, I think, is he still on YouTube? He got banned for a while. He might be back, but
sorry,
he's suspended still. I don't know if he is.
I know he made the move to Rumble, and he promotes Rumble.
That might be it. But he was on YouTube for a long time, and he finally got suspended after breaking their terms of service day in and day out for like a decade. He finally got suspended.
He's not unique though. Like so many of these guys do that regularly, and it's their business model. And every once in a while they complain because they're actually like, there's consequences to them constantly breaking the rules. It's wild.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, people, it's, oh wow, Disney's trying to make more money. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me guys tell you about this thing called capitalism.
Yeah. We're in late stage capitalism right now. Yes, Disney is desperate to make money off an ever shrinking economy where the rich are just getting richer and richer, and everybody else is just struggling to survive.
Well, and also, there's just so many options for media that I mean, one thing that isn't, I don't know if there's been any studies or anything that have taken this into account, but like YouTube itself has to have cut into a pretty large amount of people's media consumption. Which is why one of the reasons why these chuds make content, because they don't just want to radicalize people and make them hate stuff that was potentially neutral or good, but they want them to just keep watching their content instead of anything else.
I know there was a report recently. YouTube is the second most watched sort of video media behind the BBC in the UK, beating all. Yeah.
It's crazy people watch BBC so much.
It is kind of it makes sense when you think about, because after the pandemic, like everything shut down. They weren't making movies, they weren't making TV shows, everything shut down, but people could still make YouTube videos. That's part of the issue we're dealing with now, because people could just make outrage videos nonstop. All this propaganda, conspiracy theory garbage about the pandemic, they could spit that out nonstop, make money, make a career out of doing that. And people will just suck it up and go with it without critical thinking skills. Part of the reason we're in the situation we're in right now.
Well, that's the thing with YouTube that doesn't apply to traditional media, is that there's no guardrails at all. And there's vague, like we were saying, it's vague TOS. They try to bring these rules, but the more eyes that are on them, the more they'll have to do, or they'll have to crack down. Because I know they're bringing in that new rules. If you're a YouTuber under the age of 18 and you're making videos, you can't monetize your channel anymore, or that will be the rule apparently. But then that doesn't matter, because there's a parallel income stream with YouTube. You can not be monetized and have a Patreon, so you could still make money. So
yeah, it's a really good comment in the chat. It's like millennials are surviving a zombie apocalypse with no end. Actually, it's funny that because I've been thinking a lot about that parallel as well. And I feel like it reminds me of that quote, and I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, but the thing about capitalism is that capital is dead labor that feeds off living labor. It's like a vampire. It sucks, and the more it sucks, the more it has to suck,
Yeah.
Dawn of the Brain Dead.
What up, Eric? How's it going, man?
What's up? What's up?
Dawn of the Brain Dead.
Oh, hold on, wait. I had the audio on the speaker. Sorry about that. No, we're
That's
back.
all right. Let me hear me.
It
For a
just sounds
second.
like sup,
Yeah, what's going on? What's up, everybody? How's it going? Sorry I missed like the first hour of the stream, but
Well, you just missed our discussion on Variety doing a hit piece on Marvel, trying to frame it weird that Marvel's looking, or Disney's looking for more money, which Yes,
Yeah.
they are. Yes, they are.
I've covered that in like 3 different videos, so I feel like I've probably already said everything I have to say about it. But yeah, it's funny to me that they only really cover the headline of that article. They don't talk about actually what's in the article in any of the videos I've watched. So,
well, yeah,
I went
that.
over Critical Drinkers video on it. And
Did he
God,
talk
it
about
was
the part
fucking
where it
manic.
says that it's no more urgent than any other quadrant? Did he talk about that part of it? That's a big part of the article where it says, yeah, they're looking for Gen Z men, but not more urgently than any other quadrant, which I thought was
that's
kind of
actually
interesting.
one of the hilarious things, because he says, yeah, they shouldn't necessarily be making movies for everybody, because Top Gun Maverick and Barbie, and he's actually praising Barbie. Keep in mind his original review when that came out. He's praising Barbie because it's like those movies only targeted one audience. They were huge successes. And I was just like, okay, those were 4 quadrant movies, bro. Were you paying attention? The fuck are you talking about?
Because I don't think his viewers even know what quadrants are, or like they have no idea because he never mentions it. Because I don't even think he knows. I don't think he even understands
the way
what
they
it is.
talk. I don't think they know. I know.
But also that article, and I know you guys have already gone over it, but just very quickly, I'm kind of tired of these outlets going, well, a insider or a random person on the street said this. Like, I understand they want to protect sources, but if your source is just that Marvel is trying to get more IPs and get more people to watch their movies, how is that even worth being an article at all?
Yeah, I feel like that's just part of like the regular business.
It's a business. Yeah. No shit.
It's
They
weird.
probably got somebody with a job that is their job, just like to the head of department of doing that.
Shocker, the largest entertainment company in the world wants more people to watch their stuff.
Hey guys, maybe we should find new stuff to make movies about? What? That's fucking crazy.
I just thought it was funny, which, by the way, also one of the things they keep saying, I have you ever heard of a channel called Valiant Renegade? Has anybody ever heard of that channel? Okay.
This got brought up in chat earlier.
Yeah, I covered a video of his the other day. I was like, this is a guy, I did a little digging, and supposedly he's like it's unproven. There's been no proof of it from what I can find, but he's like a financial analyst or something. And I'm like, how can you be someone that says you're a financial analyst and read that article and ignore the fact that the MCU and Star Wars are in the top 3 highest grossing franchises of all time, the MCU being 3 times higher than anybody else. Like, yeah. So, and he was like confused. He's like, sated? It satisfied people or what? Yes. That's why it's worth over $30 billion. Like, what are we talking about? So I watched that video and I was just confused. And then I saw some other people have been sending me a lot of these other Chud channels that I've never heard of before. And so I watched them and I'm like, they're all basically saying that they don't believe that these properties are as popular as they are and have been, but then are also cheering for them failing. If they were already bad, there would be no cheering for them to fail because they would have already been shit to begin with. So now they're even doing revisionist history, like all the old stuff was bad too. Like that's where it is now for a lot of these guys. It's really it's crazy.
One thing you did miss in that video when you looked at the top franchises, the second one is Avatar, which is now a Disney property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
the only reason I didn't bring that up is I don't
Disney,
think I don't think the article mentioned Avatar, but yeah, that's probably the only reason I didn't even mention it. But yeah, it's funny. They're the top 3. They own the top 3. They in terms of franchises, Disney owns the most successful ones in the world. Like in terms of like sales.
The foundational narrative is that all this stuff has been failing for a while. If they're too many of their audience realize, oh wait a second, what this is by far the most profitable thing. That goes against a lot of stuff that they fucking swallow on a daily basis from this content.
Yeah, it's just watching these guys, especially ones that say they're like box office experts and stuff. It's like, bro, you're not even being good faith about like something that's just a fact. Like the MCU is worth $30+ billion, and that's just the movies. That's just the films.
I saw somebody, I don't remember who it was. I think it might have just been a random comment or something. Somebody said that guy, Valiant Renegade, is actually kind of like a low key, a guy that everybody, all these guys look to a degree. I don't know how true that is. So like,
really,
and yeah, I don't know. That's all it said.
The dude who had to look up what sated meant. Like
that was my favorite part. That was my favorite part of the whole video when he says,
"You're looking this up."
They said sated. I couldn't believe they used
Well, then he didn't even read the definition correctly. He got it wrong.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up. I mean, that's like a comedy sketch. I've seen literal jokes where a comedy character will think they've been insulted until they look up what the word means.
Yeah, that's literally an Always Sunny in Philadelphia gag.
It's a joke of Mallrats, you know.
Yeah,
the other way actually.
But even the definition he was it's like if he would have read the definition correctly, it actually would have helped him, because the actual definition says unable to take any more in, right? So that would have said that they are overproducing content and that people don't want to take in the rest of it, and it would have helped his argument. But he actually read it incorrectly and missed a talking point for himself, because he was in the bit, he was in it. He was like, I'm committed to playing this person that thinks that they don't know what the word sated means for like 8 minutes. That's what he was doing. And he did that all the way through, consistently throughout. If I have to give him any credit, it's that he plays a dumb person very well. But he did it through the whole video, and I'm like, you're missing, because you're so committed to whatever this narrative is, you're actually missing key things that could help you in the argument you are trying to make. But he just completely missed it.
I did wonder if this is going to be sort of the next evolution of this, where they're going to try and sort of rewrite history and claim that Disney, although to be honest they already do, but like Disney Marvel has always been bad ever since 2009. That's when the rot set in.
Right at the start, you know.
Yeah.
Foundational rot, man.
Disney.
That seemed to be his argument. Like, how can you say that Disney have ever made a good Marvel movie? It's like,
he didn't even remember which one was the first one, because whoever his guess was, the guy hiding behind Avatar, was like, oh, I think it was it Hulk? Was it Captain America? No, it was Iron Man. Iron Man 2. They didn't even know. And then they tried to argue, which did Winter Soldier make more money? Civil War make more money? Like the whole, if you watch the whole video, the clip that I had didn't have it all in there because they used that tiny clip or whatever. But I went back and watched the rest of it. It's dumb. The whole discussion on the article between them was dumb. That's just dumb.
Why do they even care? Is if it's not something that they at least used to fucking enjoy and think that it's not good anymore, right? Like that's kind of like the cover for a lot of these guys. Like I used to like it, now I don't. It's like, okay, that is I can see through it, but a lot of people buy it. It's like if you're just like, this has always sucked, then stop talking about it. What do you fucking care?
Yeah. No, 100%. It's been really interesting. I got a couple other videos coming out this week. I'm trying to stay away from my usual suspects. I've got a lot of stuff happening right now. I mean, shorts going up, videos on both channels, a lot of stuff happening. I'm going to be Melanie Mac soon and be complaining, guys, respect my time. I need a little time.
That was so... Wait, hang on. Are we allowed to talk about that? Can we talk about that real
That
quick?
was fucking wild.
That video was... The part where she was like... It's all jokes about her saying like homophobic slurs. I was like,
all the time she's been
you
slurring
do not
people and
get
sending
to,
hate towards the community. It's a joke, guys. I'm just joking. It's in good fun. It's like,
okay, Eva Braun.
So,
like,
all
right.
fuck you.
I can't tell you guys. I clipped out probably, I want to say a good 8 to 10 minutes. I might upload it for members only because I don't want to put it public or whatever. But there's like 8 to 10 minutes of that video where I am literally just saying angry stuff because I mean I could do it. I could still upload it, but let me tell you why it made me so mad, because it told me two things about her that I just didn't notice before, because I guess we just didn't have any context for it or we didn't understand it. But number one, it told me that in fact she was doing this the whole time knowing that it was just for clicks, it was just for engagement, and that she never cared about any of it. Because look, even though what she was saying was awful, I was writing it up like, oh, she's lost. Like she is a Christian zealot that has been indoctrinated by her church, and this is just her doing what she believes is good. It's bad, but I thought that she believed it, right?
Oh,
in your defense, that's the character you've been playing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd collected a bunch of tweets where she would just like literally just post the F slur on Twitter, or just, like to me, it seemed pretty obvious for a while that she's just she knows. I mean, it could be both. She's lost and she knows exactly how to, like, why else would you do that unless you're fucked up in the head?
Well, the other thing,
merch, didn't she? She had like a T-shirt that she sold. That was that shitty drawing of her.
The other thing was that I realized that because of, and Harrison brings up here, the My Chemical Romance stuff, I realized that not only was it not serious to her, and she was doing this knowing that everyone who has been in opposition to her was going to become a target. Like, I actually had people, whenever I talked about her F-slurring, attacking me because they thought she was doing something for the culture, but she wasn't. So we all took strays from that because of the fact that she made it seem like she gave a shit. Which, news alert, if you're somebody that followed her and thought that she was being honest about all this and that she actually meant any of it, guess what? She didn't. And the fact that she said that now about the slurs means that you can't believe anything she said at this point. And the fact that she went to a My Chemical Romance concert and tried to explain it away after she has chastised people for doing the same fucking thing. Like, she's also playing victim when she's the one that pushed everybody away. Nobody kicked Melanie Mack out of anything until Melanie Mack kicked herself out. That's the reality of it. She loved trans people. She loved gay people. This was like, 8 years ago. She was all in on that. Then she talked shit about them and pushed them away. Then she joined the gaming community here on YouTube. And then she started calling them degenerates and groomers because they wanted sexier stuff in games when that was literally the platform that she had like 2 years ago. So everything that she has done, she's brought upon herself. I don't think anybody that she's been associated with has kicked her out just because. It's always been because of something that she did. And now she's like, I'm going to go back to my gaming stream. And it's like, you might as well give up on that one. It's a 17-year-old channel. Like, why are you doing that? That doesn't make any sense, even outside of the fact that, YouTube will not promote it. Like, are you kidding me? You're going to go back to gaming streams after you spent like 5 years attacking marginalized people and it's just okay now that you've admitted that you F-slur for fun? Like,
what is clear is that she is terrible at making personal decisions, and perhaps that's why she sort of fell into the trap of fundamental religion. Because you can see, in contrast to that video that you had up there, Dane, with the video that you covered, she needs a gay friend to teach her how to contour, because
something
whiter and whiter. She's starting to look.
I don't remember this video, by the way.
She's starting to look like Barbara Cartland. Look her up. Barbara Cartland was described as looking as if two crows had crashed into the White Cliffs of Dover.
I think it was 2020, 2021.
And what I feel like Jesus has taught and what Jesus would be like. And that's not to judge people, and that's to have grace toward people and to love people. And that's where I'm at.
Then, of course, there's this one.
Visuals, features, and all the farming simulation you could ever dream of. And now you have the option for same-sex marriage too. So that's new and really cool. And now I don't have to play as a dude to marry my favorite suitor, and...
Can I point out how much happier she looks in this video? Like this, it's like night and day between where she is now and where she is in that video. Like, look at this. This looks like somebody who's really enjoying life and having fun, and then now she looks like she's just beat the fuck down by the world.
Same thing with Eric July. If you watch that video where the one where we caught him, I found catching him talking about Miles Morales positively. He's still saying really stupid stuff in general back then, but he was smiling in his videos, and he doesn't fucking smile anymore.
Right.
None of these people are fucking happy.
Critical Ox, I don't think that she's an unattractive. Like, if we're talking about just like general attractiveness, I don't think that Melanie Mack is like an unattractive person in that way. Like, we know that
until she opens her mouth.
Right. So the thing is that her level of attractiveness is affected by the things that she does and says, and I think that goes for everybody. So like, the fact that she's a attractive individual, no matter what, doesn't change that she's an awful person on the inside. And now she's admitted to doing everything for clicks. And the other thing in that video, and this is something not related to her, but it's related to all of them. The fact that she says that she knows for a fact that there are people in that community that are just doing this for views, just tells us that we, as always, have been right about this all along. And now we're seeing people come out in that community and just say it. Just say that there are people that are doing that. Yeah. So it's like everyone that ever said we were liars that believed Melanie Mack, okay, continue to believe her and apologize to us because she said it. So
Eric July's trying to do the same thing, isn't he? He's trying to back away from all the content that made him all his money.
Who was that? I'm sorry.
Eric July.
Oh, he says he says he is, but I think it's more of that the content doesn't work for him anymore. I think that's what it is.
So
he's taking a different attitude. At least I feel like Melanie Mack is now being honest, whereas he's still trying. He's trying to have his cake and eat it.
I don't think she's being honest when she says she was just. I think that she does have some fucking hate in her heart. I don't think you can.
Oh, no, that's Steph. No, I mean when she says that she was doing it for money.
Yeah. As far as Eric, so I was watching your video not too long ago about Eric other Eric,
Right.
The dumb spelling Eric,
Yeah.
and how what he was saying. He's basically kind of shitting on all the content that all his buddies make still.
Mm.
And you said something like he still does the stream with Az, and I was thinking about it. I was like, I think he does that specifically because he needs to have one under the radar to a degree outlet where he can still do the thing that people want him to do, which is talk shit on queer people and whatever.
But go ahead. Finish your thought, but I have something to add to that too.
That's about it. It was just basically that's his outlet for doing that. His name's not on it, not specifically, explicitly.
Rip in the Silverback is the name of the stupid stream. But
I
wanted sorry.
Follow him there to get that shit, get that juice from him, right?
Yeah. Well, I feel like that stream exists because Eric doesn't watch or read anything anymore. So he's not reading comic books. He's not watching TV shows. He's not watching movies. He hasn't for a very long time. So it's one of those things where I think he keeps Az around because that is his connection to that. And when they do those streams, Az can answer all the questions and Eric just has to sit there and chill his comic books. That's pretty much it. Because why would you go to a pop culture podcast with people that aren't watching pop culture? You know what I mean? Like, what would be the point of that? So
yeah. And also, like, the whole point of a lot of this content is them talking about how everything's bad now and you should, like, not watch it.
Right.
And so a lot of the people in their audience, like, internalizing that, a lot of them are not watching this stuff.
So what are they talking about? Like, what are they doing? They're going in there just complaining about stuff from 6 years ago? It's crazy.
I had sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to just say thank you to Low Watermark for the $25 super chat. It's good to see you, Low Watermark. Actually, you can ask Dane and everybody. I've asked about you a lot. I just was making sure you're okay because you just kind of vanished. So I'm glad that you're good.
Yeah, I was wondering where you were too.
Earlier that you were in prison, Low Watermark?
Who said that? Wasn't me. I didn't say that.
No, he did. He said something about being in prison sucking or something like that. I was like, what?
Oh, okay. I don't know. But anyway, thank you for the super chat. It means a lot. And yeah, Low Watermark has been around since, yeah. Prison is not all cracked up. I'd be glad to see you still doing your thing. Well, I hope that you had a nice, cozy room and that there wasn't one of those like bad prisons. So
joke, joke, good.
And I'm assuming joke, but yeah.
Jails are not made. I went to jail once and I was in there for a little while and I got out and a couple of weeks and I got out and people are like, how was jail? And it's like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? It's like, it's a really dumb question.
Unless of course you're a child trafficker who happens to know the right president.
Oh God! Yes,
because that prison is a picnic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the last Eric July video you watched, Eric, I thought was what a cheek of him to try and defend everything they do by saying we're just concerned fans. That's all we ever were.
Yeah. That video came out right after, so I would like to believe that I had an impact on that. So I made the video where I said that he was calling out his other friends or whatever, because he was saying that if you are someone making content, like movies or books or whatever, that reviewing things is unprofessional. And so in my video, I made the point, in my video, I made the point, I was like, so is he calling everybody else that does this unprofessional? Because why would it be unprofessional just for him, unless he's admitting that his content was in bad faith and he knows that was unprofessional. So that's one side of the coin. The other side is that he believes that it's unprofessional for anybody to do it. So it's one of those two things, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. So I was like, you stream with people that literally do this. And what is it, like Mahler and Nerdrotic and people like that sell things through your company, yet they still get on camera and shit on stuff, which is then also conflict marketing, which is something you made a video about just the other day. So right after I did that, like less than 48 hours later, that other video came out where he's like hyping them up, and you got the background music and the Canva clips and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, so he's definitely feeling like he made a mistake, and this is him trying to like get above that.
I wonder if they put pressure on him, if they said something about it. But I want to share this real quick clip of him I've shown before. That it's just, it reveals so much. He kind of just says the quiet part out loud in this. This is I guess a Geeks and Gamers stream or whatever, but.
Got work to do. Like tanking on one movie, that's not enough. There's power in the customers, but customers have to have some sort of awareness, self-awareness, as far as what you maybe contribute to this. Can you replace that Disney thing that you rely on to have a good time with something else? I think you can.
So that was after they, as Ethan and others have, spoke about. They
Can you replace that Disney content with something else? Well, here at the Ripaverse,
I can't wait for the Ripa cinematic.
I feel good because everybody accuses us of being like anti-Eric July, and I felt like I didn't have enough anti-Eric July content recently. So the fact that he was releasing stuff that I actually felt like reacting to, I'm like, yeah, okay, so we're back on this train again.
Yeah.
We're going down the
I've
we're going to the
literally never
Ripaverse.
talked about that guy except for
Yeah.
these streams. So
I
I'm
mean,
in the clear.
Yeah. So the thing about him is that, like, number one, he is so obvious with either being a complete grifter or just the dumbest motherfucker on the planet.
Well,
I don't
the
understand it.
video that I did today, that went up earlier today, I think he's the dumbest person. I think that's what it is, because he made a video and I literally debunked every single claim he made in the video, and it was super easy. Like I went through, I opened Google Docs. I've never done this before. I'm not an essay person. You guys know not essay, ESSAY. I'm not an essay person, not abbreviating for something else. But I opened up my Google Doc and I was like, I'm going to write out things because so much stuff he said was wrong, and I want to make sure I have everything, all my check boxes listed or whatever. And he's on there talking about how racism wasn't a problem before. Like he's like, well, racism, it was better before. Like, and I'm like, what? What are you talking about? That's just one of the many things he says in the video. He's like, race and culture, like he was talking about, it's not about race, it's about culture. And I'm like, race and culture intersect with each other. It's part of a relationship. It's not two independent things.
Also, just a white supremacist fucking talking point.
That's true.
Fucking smokes.
Listen, Martin Luther King Jr. did a march. He did one march, and it solved racism. It's all over now.
Things been good since then. I mean, look, I found a stream. I have it somewhere where like it's Az and Gary from back whenever Falcon and Winter Soldier came out, and they're literally talking like that. They're talking about how the civil rights movement happened, and then essentially everything's good after that. Like
they think it was just a party, I guess. And the weird thing is, Eric knows all this. In my video where I'm talking about it, I'm like, I'm not saying this stuff because he doesn't know. He knows 100%. I'm saying this because the viewers may not understand, and they would not know. Because I get a lot of people telling me, oh, it's a one-sided argument. I'm like, no, I'm not arguing with the people that I'm talking about. I'm providing information for the people that are watching my content. That's what I'm doing. Because the people that I'm talking about already know better. They already know. Yeah. That's just not for them.
Yeah, there's a report that unconfirmed, but I mean, there's somebody that allegedly knew Eric years ago said that he once said that the civil rights movement was a mistake.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, he did. Crazy. I mean, he's tried to downplay the Glenn Beck Association, but like, I feel like this has just kind of vanished into the annals of TV history. But Glenn Beck is one of the people who's kind of low-key responsible for the political state of America.
Oh, 100%.
He successfully walks himself back once he gets a little too extreme, though. That's the thing. Everybody forgets that he was fired from Fox News for being too extreme at one point.
So, like, a big argument can be made that Eric July, of all the grifters we cover, he is one of the big ones who really rallies against Miles Morales.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you guess who one of the first big people to come out against, big and popular people to come out against Miles Morales was when he was first released?
Probably Glenn Beck, right?
Yep, it was Glenn fucking Beck.
Yo, that's crazy.
What a coincidence.
Daddy Glenn Beck passed it down.
I bet he knows what Amazing Fantasy 15 is, though.
I bet if you just like tilted the camera on Eric July's streams down a little bit, you could see Glenn Beck's arm.
There is, if you remember, I don't know if we watched it over here, but there is a video from Ripoff Verse that makes fun of the Glenn Beck and Eric July stuff. I don't know if you saw it or not.
I don't know where I saw it as well, but have you all seen Eric's defense of not knowing what Amazing Fantasy 15 was?
I didn't see that.
In the moment, I remember what he said is a lot of people.
It wasn't
don't
in the
know.
moment.
Yeah.
No, it was a weird clip that I can't remember where I saw it, and it's obviously if you guys haven't seen it, it's not one of your videos. So I'll have to find out. But he makes a ridiculous argument that no, he knew the whole time.
Of course, yeah.
He's still claiming that Bob didn't catch him out.
Right.
That he's claiming not. I mean, it would have been the easiest thing in the world to be honest and just say I forgot what it was or whatever.
Brain parted. I mean, he could have said that at the time. I would have believed him.
This is funny. Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's a clip of him then defending that he definitely knew Amazing Fantasy 15 and he knew that it was Spider-Man's first appearance, and it's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
A good faith conversation with somebody is admitting when you don't know something, because then you don't have to worry about getting caught up in it. So like if somebody brings something up and you don't know what it is much better to just say, I don't know what you mean, or I've never seen that, I've never read that, and let them make their point and then move on from that point. Then it is to pretend that you know something that you don't know, because then you're going to get caught up in this back and forth, and it's going to come out that you don't know what you're talking about.
Like if he had just said Amazing Fantasy, I'm brain farting on that. I won't have said, oh, it's first appearance of Spider-Man. And he would have been like, oh, okay, yes, let's talk about that. Of course, I wonder how much he would have known.
I mean, you know, the first real time that I covered him in depth was when he talked about the one Spider-Man variant that's, you know, I think queer and
Sun Spider.
Sun Spider. And like he just revealed himself to me in that one, where he's like, you know, multiverse variants. You talking about them? They don't make any sense because of Peter's origin or something. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? That doesn't even make any sense. Yeah, but
they have argument to make, especially when you don't know his origin.
Yeah, they have a problem with the queer Spider-Man and the queer Spider-Man in a wheelchair. So it's two different ones. So
they're not bigots, guys.
Yeah, but they don't have a problem with the T-Rex and the car. The T-Rex and the car Spider-Man are fine, but the Spider-Man variants that are actual other people, those are the problems.
Well, okay, so I get your point, but real quick, how could you have a problem with Peter parked car? That is hilarious. Peter.
I mean, yeah, that was one of my points in the video. Was like, you know, they're not saying anything about the Tyrannosaurus Rex Spider-Man. They're not saying anything about the man who was made up of millions of spiders, and that's just spiders, man. He is a guy made of spiders. Nope, no problem with that.
And some of them are in the same issues, because these comics had multiple stories in the same issue. So,
well, and that they were talking about it as if they were giving this character its own series, and it was going to be a big deal. And it was like, it's in a couple of panels or something, along with many other variants.
I think they were all less than 6 pages, weren't they? They were all less than 6 pages of the comic.
There are Spider-Verse comic books that come out that are just short stories for these little Spider-Men throughout the multiverse, and that's it. And that's what Sun Spider was like, and they made a big deal out of it. And it's like, does it matter?
It really shows the complete lack of whimsy that they have, and purposely so, in order to make content about it, because it would be so easy to explain. It's just a fun little variation that we've done, just like we've done throughout Marvel's history, going all the way back to Peter Porker, Spider-Ham. I mean, I don't know if you I used to somehow end up with loads of the Marvel Comics Presents, which was half and half comics.
Yeah.
And some of those stories were good. Some of them were worthless.
Right.
But and some of them were just downright silly. And just bit of variety, guys.
I don't know if Eric July's ever talked about Spider-Punk, to be honest. I mean, have to look and see.
You have to, because he said any character that's not Peter Parker is just a knockoff or whatever, blah blah blah. Except for whenever
he said
he didn't
original Peter Parker, I think.
Oh, I mean, he did that knockoff Wally West Flash. I don't know if you saw Zephyr, aka Blue Shift, but the Wally West knockoff in the Rippaverse. So there's that. Hobie Brown was the original Prowler. Yeah.
For anybody that hasn't seen it, here's this.
What's the problem with the new legacy characters though? Because legacy characters are a comic book tradition.
New legacy character. What do you mean new legacy character? Are
You
you talking
understand-
about knockoff versions? Is that what you're referring to?
Okay, so you understand what a legacy character is, right?
Yes, I'm asking you for clarification. Can you answer what the question I just had?
Well, I'm trying to understand how you are asking what a legacy character is. A legacy character is simply
I
a
am
character.
saying, what do you mean by new legacy character? If they're a legacy character, they wouldn't be new.
What? No, legacy characters are characters that carry on the legacy. You understand that, right?
Yes, I understand that, but if it's a legacy character, the character itself has been there and it's ingrained in comic books, as you just said. So what do you mean new?
Because there are new characters created to add on to the legacy. Please don't tell me you're this dumb.
Bob, I have to say that clip, my favorite part is the pause and then the what?
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of the clip because
It's
you're
like, what the fuck are
you're
you talking
processing
about?
in real time. Like
Yeah.
the gears are turning and the little chipmunks are in there doing their work, and you're processing that you realize at this point that he doesn't know what a legacy character is. Like and you're like, please tell me you're not this stupid. And I love that you said that to his face because it is so fucking funny to me.
Well, what's funny is
It's not
he's lying that he understands it. That's the you know
That's
the,
right, yeah.
right there. He's
It's
like, I
exact-
understand what it is, but how can it be the thing that but now I'm going to say something that shows I don't understand it at all.
Yes.
Exactly the issue he had with Amazing Fantasy 15. He wouldn't admit that he didn't understand what Bob was trying to say, and so he keeps saying, "Yeah, I understand what you're talking about, but what are you talking about?"
Right.
I know exactly what you mean. But what do you mean?
If you know what somebody means, you wouldn't be asking them to explain it. Like that doesn't make any sense. You would just continue on. Like if you said, "Hey, tomorrow is trash day," I'd be like, "Yeah, okay, it's trash day. What about trash day?" Like that's what I would say. I wouldn't try to explain what trash day is. Be like, "Well, it's actually that's the recycle bin." No, trash day. And then Bob would say, "What?" I'll say, "No, the recycle bin. It's ingrained in trash removal at the house." You know what I mean? Like
it's like that thing children do sometimes when you argue with them, where they're like, not that I argue with children, but I've seen this where it's like, no, I know what you're talking, but I just want to make sure that you know what you mean. You know, when they're like trying to bait you into explaining something without admitting that they're wrong.
I think we all do this at some point in our lives, where like if you've had a boss who said to do something you weren't really listening, but then to double down on it so hard because you're in a debate, and to keep doubling down, tripling down, it's just say you didn't know what he meant, and that your definitions are different. Bob used the definition, and you used one that you'd made up yourself.
Right. Well, the other thing is that it's not just Eric July. The other chuds have said this incorrectly too. Like Nerdrotic has used it incorrectly. I think Critical Drinkers used it incorrectly. I know for a fact that Geeks and Gamers use it incorrectly. They don't understand what the actual like original character is and what the legacy characters are, because they're confusing the term legacy in that. And it's like you're trying to apply it to something that doesn't make any sense. Why would the original character be the legacy character? That just logically doesn't make any sense.
We talked about it before, but Star Wars had used that in that context before. Star Wars used it whenever they were talking about Leia and Luke and Han as the legacy characters at some point. And I think
it does make it a bit confusing, but I think in my head, the way I sort of explain it is they're talking about two different things. They're talking about the legacy of Star Wars. And and that goes back to the original.
Oh, you mean it requires some literacy, like media literacy to understand the context.
I've used it before. That I kind of understand if I never heard it before and you don't know what it means. The first time you hear it, it seems like you might mistake it to mean the other thing, but once you fucking look it up, which is clearly
they never did though. That's the problem, Dane. They never looked it up. They just
it only makes sense in media like Star Wars, or sort of. It did because those were the only three films that like Luke and Leia were in.
Yeah.
So the legacy is everything that comes after them. Whereas with comic books, Batman's still around. So you can't say he has left a legacy because his legacy is continuing.
I would say like Rey is a legacy character, right? Because she continues on that storyline, and so that's what it would be. And so it's just so funny to me. They've been using this stuff incorrectly. I just love the fact that if you guys look around on the channels, I've seen probably 4 videos from the mid-range chuds saying that it's done, like it's over for them. In terms of their content, there's a Diabolical Souls guy, got the Goochcast or whatever. He admits that the Culture War stuff isn't working for his channel anymore. Melanie Mac's walking away from it. Hypnotic is seeing the effects of it. A lot of people, he's like, Hypnotic's just back to talking about games now. He's not really talking about Culture War stuff anymore. So they're walking away from this stuff. That is a sign that the foundation is eroding, like for this stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's going away.
Look who was on his stream just 2 days ago.
Bo DeMeo, was it Bo? Yeah. Yeah. He reached out to him because Bo has been talking all this shit, trying to get into the algorithm again. So,
I mean, it also proves us right too. Like these guys are just grifters, are just saying it for the fucking money. They don't actually care about any of this stuff. They don't have a passion behind
True.
it.
True. Because if they did, they would continue to talk about it, even if the views were down. But it's not like that,
Fucking glazing AI and shit.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, fun fact: I'm making Star Trek videos that are getting fucking buried in the goddamn algorithm. But like, I released something on Tyrone Magnus, and my Critical Drinker one will probably do well too.
Did Tyrone Magnus come after you yet?
Nope.
Okay. Well, we'll see what's going to happen. Hopefully, nothing happens. But
I did actually say in that video that I kind of hope he does.
Well, two things. First of all, going back to your video about Eric July, I love that that's becoming like internet lore. Like that video is becoming like it's far outside of our bubble now. It's one of those like things where people talk about it that have never even heard of our podcast or don't know anybody here. They don't know Bob. They don't know anybody else. It's a funny clip because it's so bad for someone to be so stupid, so confidently stupid. So I love that. But also I think your Tyrone Magnus video will also be as iconic at some point because I didn't realize, because I've only watched clips of his videos, I didn't realize that the vast majority of the video is that. Like, it's just him sitting there. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah. I didn't realize that's like the whole video. Like, the clips that I saw for like a minute or something, I'm like, this can't be the whole thing. No, that's the whole video usually when he reacts to something. It's crazy.
And I purposely picked on one that wasn't like him covering a video, but then all he did was fucking read the article and go, and that's it. It's like, oh my fucking God, he's so stupid.
How does he still have people clicking on his videos? That's the question.
I think that part of it is that everything, the first time I ever heard of him, and several times since then that I've seen him pop up, it's because he covers a lot of stuff, like almost anything that Critical Drinker puts out. He'll just watch that video and, you know, and so he's definitely skating on that quite a bit.
Also, I started working on it today, but it's already done. I'm making I'm bored t-shirts, so get ready for those to drop soon. So
hell yeah.
Everybody was asking for them, so we've got some fun ones coming out it'll be up in my merch shop. But I have a lot of random stuff in there, but everybody's like, I would totally buy an I'm bored t-shirt. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna make some of those. So.
I got a shirt from the Ripoff Verse a while back. I got one with the Gary puppet saying repeat, repeat, repeat.
You are developing quite a cache of catchphrases on Debunk's channel.
Well, the funny thing about that one was that was never going to be like, I guess catchphrases just have to happen naturally. You can't make your own; they just have to work.
Yeah.
So like when I would watch the Chud videos, I would literally be sitting here going, "What am I going to talk about today?" All right, I'm bored, so I'm just going to watch this video or whatever. And that was genuinely where it came from. And then it's like, now everyone likes when I do those funny intros with the I'm bored thing, so I try to make it funny or whatever. But it really has become like the catchphrase. And now I made a video today on my Reloaded channel, and I didn't realize it. But at the beginning of the video, I'm like, I'm bored. And I like uploaded it today. I'm like, oh shit, that was for the other channel, and I did the same thing at the beginning. So now it's like stuck in my head. So
I'm bored. Let's watch a trailer.
yeah. So. What is that? The new Eric July? Who's the new Eric July? Is it Tyrone Magnus?
I don't think so.
To me, they're nothing alike. They're both chuds, but they're nothing alike.
Eric July actually says stuff. It's stupid, but he actually says stuff.
Tyrone Magnus is just like, he's just there kind of thing.
Yeah, Did you see the video? The one video I remember of him was he refused to take his, I guess, fiance at the time, or maybe wife or whatever, girlfriend. I don't really know how deep the relationship was at that point, but refused to take her to Disney World, even though she'd wanted to go there all her life, and they finally were going to do it. And he's like, but I can't take you because it's woke. It's like, what?
Fucking. I mean, even Ethan Van Sciver took his
That's
kids to
so funny. Yeah. That's so fun.
Can you imagine you've saved for years to go to Disney World and you're like, can't take you, it's too woke.
Holy shit.
So actually, I pulled up some Mark Maron clips, and actually he talks a bit, like he doesn't say the word woke, but like he breaks down kind of what woke culture is to these corporations.
I mean, he did in some other clips, though.
Well, I got a clip right here.
Sure.
But I think that the way that business, see what you're saying to me feels like that, fascism is good for business.
Yeah.
Because if you, like Netflix will just, co-opt anybody that can take that algorithm. And I think I used to do a joke about it. Netflix can become Reichflix, very quickly. And I think the pivotal moment was when they had pushback from the trans community about Chappelle, they realized after several days that community was not going to affect their bottom line at all.
Yeah.
and they cut them loose. And that is how fascism works in business.
Right. Well, right. When their argument and response would be, well, we believe in being a home for everybody. So there's Chappelle, there's Ricky Gervais, there's all these kinds of comics that do the same fucking joke, and we have a bunch of gay movies and films and queer stuff, and like we're a home for everybody, and that's our answer.
Sure. But ultimately,
and they also made released that terrible fucking movie last year though, or earlier, whatever it was. I forget the name.
Amelia Perez.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that movie sucked. That movie.
Who's getting the big deals? Which shows stay on the air?
Yeah.
What do they keep repeating? It's like the bigger audience. That's them saying like, we got this other stuff, and we know there's a few of you, but we're throwing you a bone. So shut up.
Yeah.
But the big money's on the ones that you're talking about that titillate in a certain way that is not always right-minded. And look, I'm people can say whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like my belief is that eventually this stuff would have found its level. That ultimately, in terms of left-leaning or specific marginalized cultures, creating grassroots action, by overwhelming Twitter and stuff, that when Trump was campaigning for the second time, that was ebbing, that it would have found a level where tolerance would have maybe reigned, because I believe that in order for democracy to work, if these guys are doubling down on intolerance and hate, that you got nothing to work with. I mean, it used to be like, you'd get a guy who'd be like, yeah, gay marriage, now the gays, they want to get married, it's ridiculous, fuck the gays. And then it passes in his state, and over time he's like, I don't know, I work with a guy, they're nice. And then it evolves in the way that democracy is supposed to work. But I think it should always be said that what these guys are fighting for is not democracy, and they're shameless about it. They can say that, democracy enabled us to vote for that guy, but that was the fucking end of it. And that's the loophole in democracy, is that you can freely elect a fascist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that speaks to that one guy, that piece of shit that was on the Jubilee thing recently with
the Mehdi Hassan one.
Who just openly was like, it's cool that we voted, we can vote the guy in, but after that, no more voting. And it's like somebody I was watching a video reacting to that, and the guy was like, he's so stupid, he doesn't even understand that doesn't make sense. And I'm like, no, he's not. He understands exactly what he's saying.
That's not stupidity. That's malice. Right. That's a guy who wants people dead. That's
he used the stones to destroy the stones, just like Thanos,
Mm-hmm.
I
mean, he makes the excellent point. Oh, go ahead, Ryan.
No, you carry on.
No, I was just gonna say part of why I like that clip is that he makes the excellent point, because everybody wants to talk about how woke Netflix is, how it has all these versions and race swaps, but he breaks down what's going on at Netflix. They're all fine with doing stuff like that, because on the other hand, they're going to be posting transphobia and shit like that.
Right.
They're going to be posting anything that they think will make them money, because they're a fucking corporation.
But it's funny because the two things are not equal. Like when you're showing a TV show or a movie that has gay characters in it, that doesn't counteract actual transphobia and homophobia and racism. Like it doesn't.
That Amelia Perez movie was full of fucking, just transphobic bullshit too.
It was so fucking weird and fucked up. Oh my.
Also,
God.
I mean, he would know too, because he was on an excellent show, I think, on Netflix that got canceled, right? Wasn't he? Glow. That's what it was. The wrestling show or whatever. Great fun show. Got canceled. Very woman forward, positive for women, positive for queer people. Funny. I enjoyed it. Got canceled. You know what I mean? That's what they do. So he knows firsthand. He was part of that system.
To the point of that they do have other stuff on there, counter that stuff. So Anthony Jeselnik's recent special from a few months ago, he explicitly just shits on all these guys that do trans jokes and shits on Rogan and all that stuff. But it's still just one special, one stand-up compared to not to mention Dave Chappelle being as fucking huge as he is and getting, I don't know how many specials he's had in the last few years, but a lot.
He had a contract with them for a certain amount, I think, if I remember correctly.
A huge amount. But it's like Joe Rogan on fucking Spotify. They get these huge lucrative deals. They make these corporations money, and then hey, they have a gay movie, so it's okay. It's like, no, it's not. No.
And I don't think people
like,
realize that Netflix's business plan is basically when comic book companies will release tons of first issues.
Yeah.
That's their business plan.
Yeah.
Everything's a first issue. So don't get invested in anything because it ain't getting a second series.
Yeah, it's the thing with these corporations is it's just like somebody who says that they're they're colorblind. They're not racist because they don't see color or whatever. It's like, the average centrist kind of, you can't just be neutral to racism or fascism. You have to be actively against it or you are susceptible to it, period. So like companies that I'm not taking a stance. We're just making content here for money. You're going to end up, making more content than in service of some pretty shitty things.
I know Marin in that interview, he praises the new video by Elephant Graveyard.
Yes. Dude, that is one of the best videos I've ever fucking seen, hands down. Like, it was legitimately fantastic, and upsetting. But
because I know the last video he put out, there was some rumor that it was AI generated. And so,
sorry, yeah, I didn't want to rain on the parade. So for Elephant Graveyard does use AI to create a lot of the stuff on his channel, and I am very against the stuff that he does because of the way that he does it.
Really?
I think a significant amount of it is when especially the Joe Rogan videos, the cadence that so first of all, just evidence for what I'm saying. If you go back to and I don't know, maybe he took it down, but I was calling this out like a while back when it was.
Are you talking about his voice or what? Or like the content itself?
So,
like what he's saying?
The voice, yes, but also if you look at there's other stuff on his channel, especially older stuff. If you go back, you can see there's the AI disclaimer in the descriptions of some of the older videos. YouTube has changed over time the way that now it's like altered content. But there used to be a different disclaimer that you would click for a while. They changed
Honestly,
it.
I at this point, I kind of don't care. I haven't seen enough of it to.
I care. It bothers me a lot personally. But like the thing that I was going to say is the stuff that he's making. First of all, like there's just generative AI content straight up on that channel. A lot, like people comment sometimes on his videos where they're like, "Oh, you make music too? You're so talented." Yeah, I'm sure he is. I'm sure the fact that a ton of that stuff has AI disclaimers in the videos and stuff to diminish his message because of AI is wild. Nah, I think it's wild to say that I'm just diminishing it because of AI. So there's a channel if you're into like politics coverage, this might be more intuitive. There's a channel called RM Brown. I think he might have appeared on the Majority Report before, or some stuff.
I watch him regularly. Yeah.
So this is like a little bit tinfoil hatty. The stuff that I just said is like that's all but confirmed. Like that's all but straight up evidenced on Elephant Graveyard's channel. The stuff that he's really been blowing up for Elephant Graveyard on his channel is usually like the Joe Rogan commentary stuff. The way that he structures that content is super interesting to me, where it like the voice will like interject as Joe Rogan is talking, and it's kind of like an active back and forth commentary where he's like snarking about him. That stuff is like dead to rights, exactly how RM Brown does his content.
I mean,
but one of those people is actually a guy.
So like the Joe Rogan thing, I remember watching in like, I think it was the Burn the Boats thing from a year ago. But like, I'll be honest, looking at a lot of these thumbnails, there is a AI vibe going on here. And I also want to stress, I don't think AI is inherently bad. I think it depends on how you use it. If you just use like AI tools to help you out here and there, I think that is absolutely fine.
It technically it kind of is just bad because of the resource drain that it causes, and that's on its own.
Well, I mean, I'm getting into a bit more of the nuance, but I think like just using some AI tools is fine. I think just making AI content is bullshit.
Well, I'm looking here. I did a little digging while we were talking about it, and there's an article that came out in April on Medium, and the article itself about Elephant Graveyard doesn't call out Elephant Graveyard for the AI, but then the article itself is AI, and somebody in the comments is like, the irony of like defending an AI channel with an AI article. I guess Medium has a problem with that now.
Yeah, it's become very endemic. I do want to say one thing. So I've talked to people and been supportive of people who, like, for their channels, they've used AI in the past, where like they, for example, if English isn't their first language, they're using it to like do the voice so that people can understand what they're saying. As a transgender person, right? I have gender dysphoria from my voice. I understand not wanting to use your like just regular recorded voice or not having the equipment. I understand that there's reasons why people will get into this, but I always tell people it's good to move away from that. With time, you should drop that stuff. And what this guy is doing instead is he's using this stuff to blow up. And some of it is just very directly, like a ton of that stuff is just like, if you dig into the past of his channel, it's just Gen AI stuff. I don't think that it's super ethical. But I also think some of the RM Brown, ripping from RM Brown, that might just straight up be like content theft type stuff. And I'm not too sure about that.
Yes, I haven't seen any of what you're talking about, honestly. I mean, I'm not saying
I have to be honest, I haven't either.
It hasn't triggered anything in me to see. Like, I watch enough RM Brown that I feel like I would, I don't know.
The one thing I would say, just for clarity's sake, is on YouTube videos where it says altered content, it doesn't mean AI. It means that the content is not how it was originally presented. So if you
fair use type thing,
not sort of that, but more if you clip something to alter the context of it. So if you clipped someone, for example, saying "I'm not a racist," and you clipped out the "not" and then uploaded that to make them sound like they were saying they were racist.
I don't think that's true. The altered content thing, it used to be something else for a little while, but it got introduced because of the influx of the generative AI stuff. And it says digitally altered, not like manually. Like if you generate something that's meant to look like if I generate Obama like eating a sandwich with like a generative AI thing,
so
I think that's
Google,
what that's about.
Google defines altered or synthetic content can include content that is fully or partially altered or created using any audio, video, image creation, or editing tools.
Yeah, I remember posting about this on Blue Sky a while back, and I don't want to tilt at anybody. Like my whole thing with this, and I've talked about this before on my channel, like generative AI has become completely endemic to a lot of these platforms. The best thing to do is to what's the
live in the woods and
the
don't
panic from the Panic at the Disco lyric, poison rationality. Like it's much better to face this kind of thing with a sense of poison rationality. Okay, like I don't want anybody to feel like attacked. Like I've talked to content creators who either they used to use AI or whatever. I always say like it's always better, like just do it yourself.
The thing is, I don't even want to talk about this honestly, because like my thing is that I'm so fucking happy to see a channel that's getting this much play, that's making such criticism. I mean, that's why I can't believe that the writing is AI, because there's too much layers of irony and characterization and shit happening with the Elephant Graveyard videos. It's just can't be AI in my opinion.
I think if generative AI programs become better, it's going to be because they're training on people who know how to write like that.
Maybe, but I mean, I'm just saying that the fact that there's somebody that's able to go back against the whole Rogan sphere thing to the degree that this guy is, and getting attention on it and stuff, it's I don't know. I'll look into it, because I'm not like pro AI. I'm definitely anti AI content generally.
It seems like a lot of people are questioning whether or not it is AI. So at the very least, I'm not accusing the channel of being AI, but it seems like a lot of people believe that some of the script writing is AI and the voice is AI. So
the voice probably is AI. No,
I'm not even sure about the voice, because I don't know. I don't think the script is, because I think, like Dane said, I think the way it's written, if AI can write that well, then that's it, because it's game over.
There's a few sites that you can go to where AI has no restrictions on it, and you can get it to say stuff like that. There's a website called janitor.ai. A friend of mine showed it to me, and it allows you to make avatars to chat with, and there's no ethical restrictions on it. and you can tell it to do something for you, and there's no holds barred. And when I say no holds barred, what I saw was pretty bad.
So this is toward the end of this recent video, or his most recent video, that's very good, and it's also a very good part of the video. I just want to watch for a minute, see if I got anything.
You don't have the audio.
Can't hear it.
No, I mean like the audio is not shared.
It's not playing at all?
No.
Yeah, no audio.
Also, YouTube changed something in there, and this is something I noticed with my last video as well. There's a stable audio thing in the settings now that will fuck with shared audio.
Weird.
Like, I had to turn it off for it to work on my end. So...
Tony also tells his flock that they are under attack by powerful forces.
Free speech is under attack, people. I host a show, and each week I get updates what words we're allowed to use and not use anymore. It's happening right now the past few years. It's a real thing.
He explains here that the reason he chose a political
That's
side
an AI voice,
was
yeah.
the other side was supposedly censoring him. Tony twists his personal choice of opting for YouTube ad revenue over free expression as an attack from the enemy mob.
I've never considered myself a very political guy. We found out from YouTube that there's new words that they want us to censor. New words that you have to bleep out, but you don't make money anymore. So I've become like a free speech angry guy.
He became a free speech guy by becoming a censorship guy, censoring himself to get that paycheck as if the Netflix deal wasn't enough.
That's what Kill Tony is. There's no business element behind it. There's no networks.
That's the kind of backwards logic that only works inside this comedy simulacrum. Just an incredible example of the ability these cultists have to bend reality. The show is sold as a chance to transcend the rungs of human existence to that higher level, to a high-tier real comedian.
That you are indeed the newest golden ticket winner here.
But what it actually is a multi-level comedy scheme, exploiting people's hopes of getting the hell out of their lives, and funneling money up to the top of the comedy pyramid to the big man, the comedy czar, everyone involved taking a little piece of the pie on the way up. The vibe of the show is terribly depressing, like watching a bunch of demons torturing lost souls.
Look at it, boy, looking like he on trial for touching kids. You can't even say that. You look gay. Try to do better next time.
You suck. There will be no next time. You're blacklisted. Go.
Anything that interrupts their sadistic ritual gets flushed right out of there. Even the great Ric Flair was shat upon just for daring to be real.
Oh, I'm a wrestling coach for a high school.
Oh my God, this is so boring. Holy shit. Ric Flair, can you please tell us a story?
Actually, to be honest with you, I respect that very much. My son was a great amateur wrestler. He died of a heroin overdose.
Oh.
In 2013. I don't hear that, but anybody that could take time away from their life to support kids from personal experience, and because I believe it in my heart.
Jesus Christ. What a fucking bunch of pieces of shit.
What is that?
Yeah.
Is that a podcast?
That's so wild.
Kill Tony is a show that Tony Hinchcliffe has hosted for several years now. It's just recently been picked up on Netflix. That essentially they bring up people who want to be comedians or just amateurs, and it's kind of like a talent show kind of thing. Except they will mock the shit out of people, roast them. Nobodies. It's punching down. It's a bunch of punching down. I mean, you're clearly based on this, like you can tell that they're just a bunch of fucking assholes.
Oh, and it's a Texas. The state of Texas is on the merch there.
Yeah, they're. He's one of the guys that moved to Texas because he couldn't make it in LA. So Rogan.
I've seen these before. I followed a couple comedians who would do stuff like this, where it's structured in the style of one of those, like, I don't know what you'd call it, but like a competitive roast, where you bring two people up on stage and they go back and forth.
Yeah, those are
good.
That's not what this is, because that's two amateurs going at each other. This is just an amateur and then a table of typically professionals and then like guest stars, like Ric Flair or some other celebrity. You know what I mean? But I mean,
so basically,
laughing about Ric Flair talking about this, that's fucked up.
An amateur comedian who wants to become a comedian comes up and does their best 1 minute of comedy, and then these guys just take the piss out of them for not being very good.
there's like guys that have gone up there that have like some kind of they're born with some kind of deformity in their arm or something, and they'll call them all kinds of names for that shit. Just it's pretty fucked up.
And basically, if Tony Hinchcliffe does like your material, he'll steal it as well. So there's also that.
Classy.
Well, somebody said a minute ago, and I agree. There's a lot of subtle shifts in tone that with this voice that I feel like he does like sighs and like kind of kind of stuff here and there. It's like, I mean, I'm sure you can do that with AI, but I don't know. It's very, very well done if it is an AI voice.
Well, this is the thing is like if AI gets better, a bunch of people are just going to decide that they're okay with it. Is one of the pro AI people have said that for a long time, and that's like kind of my black pill. Is like I think what I'm seeing with this channel with some of the videos that it's produced is kind of like that. Like
AI is at 3735. Okay.
Dystopian imperial hell world.
Freedom and democracy are actually not compatible.
No, it's a different. I think it's a different video. The title of that video is different.
Oh, Dystopian Hell World. My bad. Okay, I should have recognized that, but I didn't because I'm stupid. Because I'm not AI.
But the voice in this one, I think, is AI. It's the same voice thing that he uses for the other.
Hopefully, you
videos.
can tell by now that right there is a guy who has fully migrated into a simulacrum. There really is something in the eyes, eh? Sui eyes. That's definitely a real thing. It's hard to believe, but all this crazy shit is how the top of the comedy world works now. I was tempted to end the investigation there, but I just kept staring up at that photo of David.
That sounded a little bit.
When you ask why,
That sounded AI.
what
Yeah.
happens if you keep asking? You either end up in theoretical physics or an insane asylum. And so I just didn't stop.
Okay, so I do think the voice is AI now because that is definitely an AI thing.
Also, like the thing I was saying about his older content.
Put the investigation there.
Look, I'll let it go. But like, because it's not really the subject of what we're talking about, and I don't want to derail.
No.
But like, if you check this guy's older videos, he's got like older streams and stuff where he's getting an AI to like do the voices of like celebrities and stuff. Like he definitely uses AI, like fully confirmed. So I don't know. Yeah.
And I will.
I'm not willing to
one thing I
throw him
think
out
is-
with the bathwater kind of thing, based on that, because it's otherwise is some pretty solid work.
I will say, like, it is overall a good message that he's putting out there.
Also, I think it does kind of cast a shadow on some of the research elements of the video. There was when Alejandro Caraballo got exposed for like using AI to write like some of her like threads on stuff, people realized that like a lot of the research she was doing had some pretty important flaws, and that was really damning for that to happen. And I really think that it can be bad.
So yeah,
it can have bad
he does.
consequences for the content.
Aaron Brown uses it for LeBron James. I've seen that.
Shout out to Space and Goats for the $1 super chat.
Hell
So
yeah,
my
Space
channel.
and Goats.
Thank you so much, Space and Goats.
Goated Anders Enjoyer. Thank you for checking out my video about that.
Clarify this: is text to speech? That's not inherently AI, right? I mean, because none of this is actually AI, as we know. It's fucking. That's not an accurate term for any of it. But it's all generative bullshit.
I mean, it's all computer programs.
Because I've done
doing
tech
shit, yeah.
stuff that like where I say something and then it does a voice saying that. Is that
We text to speech is bad? I don't think so. I mean, unless it's definitively like AI generating you saying stuff you're not saying. I think that would be different. But
yeah,
we had an issue here. There's a organization, queer organization that does like, I don't know, they're like a umbrella company, nonprofit, I should say, that like has different social groups and things for people. And they were using AI to make logos and things like that, and it was really obvious. And so, like, my partner does design for a living. Like, that's what he does. He's a graphic designer, and he does it for several different people. He would look at this stuff and immediately be like, yeah, that's 100% AI. Like people that do graphic design know it immediately when they're looking at it. And anyway, and so they got kind of, not because of him, but because other people also noticed it. And they got in trouble for that because it was like 100% generative AI. It wasn't supplemental AI. It was like they literally went in and typed in make a logo for this thing and it popped up or whatever. So I think for now we can still sort of tell when something is not right. But I would say in the next year, it's probably going to be without other tools like AI detecting tools to detect AI. it's going to be hard to do. We're going to have to use AI to detect AI. That's what's going to happen.
Jesus.
I also think that there's a few too many people who are willing to jump on something definitely being AI just because it's not very good.
Yeah.
Or because it is in
that-
a certain style. That happened to Scutch. Do you guys know Scutch Draws? He does a lot of thumbnails for YouTubers like Lindsay Ellis and FD Signifier, Jack Sane, H Bomber Guy. You know how they have those thumbnails sometimes that look like oil paintings? He does I commissioned something from him once, and he's gotten accused a bunch of doing AI, even though I know for a fact he doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the reasons, Cherry, that I was also, I don't disagree with you on the ethics of AI or anything like that. I hope you know that. But like, I was hesitant with this guy in particular because it's just like calling out these chuds that we do. Like, there's been some crazy attempts to fucking silence us, people making up crazy shit and saying, you know what I mean? So like, that's one of the, once I recognize this guy as somebody who's making effective content about the Rogan sphere, I'm like, okay, so I probably need to look out for anybody that's going to be making some claims about this dude.
No, for sure. And the skepticism is warranted because, like Eric was just saying, like, you just get like people saying stuff, and this is the thing is why it's like damaging for like artists and writers and creatives and stuff is like, then I've got accused actually of using AI on something once. I can't remember what it was. It was like something that I wrote, and somebody said that it sounded AI, and I was like really hurt.
You're like, no, I'm autistic. God damn it.
Yeah, no, for real. Like I have a flat affect and I have a certain tone when I write. Yeah, it's tough. Like
YouTube is automatically applying AI to videos now without consent.
I saw that. That made me so upset. Oh my god.
I posted that in the server to talk about actually. So what a good transition, maybe.
I didn't know it was in the server. I've been out all day. My brother's in the hospital right now, so I've just been out all day dealing with that.
I didn't want to mention it on stream, but I hope he's all right.
I mean, he's just waiting for some tests. He'll probably get discharged tomorrow, but there was they thought they were going to have to do emergency surgery, but what they're doing is working. So no, as of now, no surgery. So he's just bored. He's ready to get out of there. So, but yeah, I haven't seen any of this. But yeah, I saw this article, and this is crazy because, look, AI is going to happen. Like we can push back against it, but to some degree, it's corporations are going to use it for something. And I hate that for us. But YouTube doing something without us being able to opt out of it is very unethical.
Yeah.
YouTube I hate how much AI is like built into YouTube now. It's so bad. The inspirations stuff, the ask feature now on comment sections where
the AI summary. This is the thing that made me so mad. I watched that weekly thing where they update you on stuff that's going on, and they talked about like they're improving the AI summary of videos. I'm like, I don't want AI summaries on my videos. Right. Can I turn those off because it defeats the purpose of me making content? If you're going to tell people in an AI summary what I'm saying, why are they going to watch my video? It devalues the creator's video when you create an AI summary that pops up in my description box. There's no way for us to turn that off. I don't want that on my videos.
I mean, one of the fun things I did, the videos didn't get much attention, but one of the fun things I did was I literally just went down the rabbit hole and I had YouTube tell me the exact video I was supposed to make using AI, and it was a fucking joke of a video.
You know what? I think out of for a joke one week, we should make every video that their AI tells us to make just as a joke to show how bad their suggestions are, because they're bad. They're bad suggestions.
I actually investigated a couple of those. I was playing with the idea back when I did like politics content. I was playing with the idea of doing like a video talking about like AI and stuff, and like taking classes that people give where they talk about like what do they call them? Like computer learning like models and stuff like that. And there's a specific word for that. But yeah, no, I just because I find it really fascinating, really interesting. But yeah, so I looked into like some of the stuff that they try to get YouTubers to use that gets like advertised. vidIQ is one of them. For writers, there's Grammarly, and then a couple other things like that are like services that have incorporated like generative AI now. Really, it's gotten really, really bleak. But it being built into YouTube is crazy. Because I think YouTube, if they could get away with it, they would just have a button that YouTubers click that generates a video.
Yeah. So the thing is they are desperate to make us think that we need this shit. And when in fact, clearly we don't. Clearly, if by far and away when it comes to content creation, it is not good. It is actually bad, and not just like ethics wise, but taste wise. Just it's often very shitty. But like we're in a bubble. It's a bubble, and I don't know how long it's gonna last, when it's gonna burst. But yeah, nobody's making any money off the shit. There are no companies making a profit off of AI. So if you ever see a company bragging about how much they're bringing in because of AI, be sure to distinguish that may be what they brought in, but what have they paid out on the shit?
Yep.
Because they're not making any profit.
I do. So Harrison James says here, I do think that the language dubbing foreign creators is a decent use of AI. So there are some things about AI that I do like, but the problem is, what are we giving up in exchange for that? Because I think that AI dubbing voices for people that are visually impaired is incredible. I think it's incredible. There's a lot of people I know who have vision problems that want to engage in foreign content. They can't because they don't understand the language, and dubbing is really the only way they can do that. So I think that's great. But what kind of ethical guidelines do we have on other stuff that could be doing the same thing or something even worse? And that's where I have an issue with it. So I don't have the answer, but I think it's important to like bring it up and talk about it, because what's happening here is in YouTube Shorts specifically, in this article, they are applying a beautification filter to everyone's shorts without them knowing, because they think it enhances and makes the shorts better. My problem with that is, if you want to add a filter like that, let us choose if we want it, because right now you're forcing AI. Yeah, you're forcing so much AI on us, forcing it on us, but then also saying we need to be ethical about AI and report it in our descriptions of videos. Why do we have to tell you that we're using AI when you're forcing it on us anyway? It doesn't make any sense. It's a conflict of company ethics.
I want to point out something real quick. I'm sorry, man, but like this person has continuously repeated this, and you seem to be doing it from trying to like normalize that as a fact, despite it not being a fact, almost certainly. And it's not a trans person. That has not been confirmed, or even, as far as I know, remotely true. That
what is this about?
I think they keep repeating this shit, that it was a trans person. The conservatives are so happy. They're claiming it's a trans person that did. Of course, they're trying to claim that. They always do, because they want to fucking, once again, shit on trans people and put a target on them, literally, and avoid accountability for their own fucking ideology, which is what causes most of these mass shootings. So anyway, don't do that shit.
Yeah, that's a whole, like, I'm sure as usual with that stuff, we'll learn more about it as
well. Everything I've seen except for the fringe stuff has been like, this person is clearly a conservative. Like, that's basically what I've seen. What now?
That somebody just fucking popped in saying it was a trans person, so that tells me right there that like, and somebody we've never seen before. So
no, but I mean, like I saw the articles today, and almost all of the people that actually have the proper information are just providing that. The fringe bullshit stuff, like the fucking alt-right accounts, or like even drama alerts, like, oh, it was a trans person, it was a guy with long hair, and so they identified as a woman. Like, that's what I'm seeing. So it's just a bunch of dumb shit.
The fact that people are popping up in our fucking chat to say that, they're really fucking trying.
Yeah, really 100%, 100%.
Yeah, that's
we weren't talking about it at all. Why come in here and talk about it? It's not a topic we were discussing. So,
well, I think it goes back to the whole thing of like people that come into my comment section and say hateful stuff about like trans and queer people when it comes to things like this, but then ignore the mountains and mountains of times when it's not trans and queer people, or they'll say it's always somebody who's queer that's doing something. I'm like, well, give me examples. They don't have examples. They have no. It's a claim with no actual evidence behind it. So when they find one that they think might be, it's like they get super excited about it, and then it's usually not even that. It's just them saying it. So it's weird that they would even want to do that, because keep in mind, whenever this stuff happens before, and progressive people, liberals, leftists, common sense people go, we should be talking about ways to mitigate this. It's too soon. Respect the people that were hurt. Respect the families. Respect the lives that were lost. But as soon as you think that you can pawn it off and scapegoat trans and queer people, you're like, oh, but it's a trans person. It's a queer person. It's all bullshit. It's concern trolling bullshit. like it's so stupid.
I just wish they would self-reflect on their desperation for it to be a particular type of person, because they are so desperate. I mean, that's part of the reason for all this stuff with ICE wearing the masks and doing all this stuff that they're doing and sending in the National Guard. They're trying to create a hotbox. They're trying to create a tense situation because they want a liberal to fight back. And so far, the best they've got is a guy throwing a sandwich. And they tried to go hard on that guy.
And now it's okay. He's not going to get charged. So
no, of course he's not, because he didn't commit a federal crime. Throwing a sandwich at a policeman is not a federal crime.
Yeah,
I would have caught that sandwich, but I'm a bit different.
I mean, if he'd thrown a donut at the cop, we would have been able.
Oh yeah, but bro would dive for it with his mouth open.
And I want to say, by the way, I have like a long history of training with this kind of bullshit in general, because I'm a lot more lenient in my comment section than a lot of people are. So I will argue with these dumbasses for a while until I get fed up with them. And most of them eventually reach the point where they have no responses. They just hate queer people. That's it. There's nothing else to it. They don't care about the loss of life. They don't care about gun rights. They don't care about personal freedoms. That's not what it's about. It's literally just they hate queer people, and that's the logical conclusion. Same thing with the Snoop shit the other day. When somebody said Snoop wasn't being homophobic, he's afraid to go to the movies. And I'm like, afraid to go to the movies because of what reason? Why? Yeah. It's like it's the same game with them every fucking time.
I mean, that's part of why the people are gravitate towards these channels, because it not only it gives an outlet to them, but also gives them arguments to throw out at people that are bullshit. That, like, the second you spend any time with any of these arguments, they fall away so fucking quickly. But yeah, that's part of the issue. Like, they have these inherent bigotries, and they're just looking for any excuse to spout them off. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just bleak. It's just bleak as hell.
How about we address the actual issue when it comes to guns, instead of trying to pick and choose who we're going to demonize for it, right? Like, the issue is our country has a gun problem. And I'm somebody that doesn't believe in, like, let's take away all the guns. I'm not saying that. I'm very, like, pro defend yourself. 2A, I get it. But at the same time, there's definitely an issue with gun violence in this country, and we are not actually addressing that. And it doesn't have anything to do with it being a trans person or not a trans person.
Mm-hmm. So this just brings it up because I saw something on this recently. The old sci-fi series Sliders. I remember I watched it back when it first came on. It started pretty decent. But, like, there's an episode where they're rewriting the Bill of Rights for this alternate reality they go into. And they're like, these people need a Bill of Rights. And they get to the Second Amendment. And very quickly after they bring up the Second Amendment, Rembrandt goes, yeah, we'll go ahead and scratch that one.
Yeah. Yep. By the way, I do have to jump out of here. I got to work tonight, but I wanted to make sure I stayed a little bit longer because I missed an hour and I felt out of place. I was like, I dropped in late, but,
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
This was a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I'm doing my stream tomorrow. I never promote myself when I leave. I usually just jump out of here. But I'm doing my stream tomorrow night, Nerdcast. Come out and see it. I did an Eric July video today. I also did a John Campia video today. So I've got 2 videos up today. I got 3 videos going up tomorrow, and several shorts are going to be going up. So anyway, I got to jump out now. I do have to leave. But anyway, thank you. Good chatting with everybody. And I'll see everyone later on. Bye.
Hell yeah.
I mean, maybe a couple of us are, but nobody's going to fuck you. So, don't know why.
That's such a weird thing to bring up. So, like,
me when I walk into any room. So, you guys gay or something?
So apparently, to care about equal rights, you have to be gay. I did not know that.
Before we go, I wanted to look at this shit. So here's the director of some movie I've never heard of, called Primitive War. Anybody heard of that shit?
Yeah, I did. When I saw
I just saw this posted. I wasn't sure what the context was. I was kind of
context. This is the director of this movie, Primitive War, which apparently is a thing that exists. He shopped it around, couldn't get anybody to finance and I guess distribute it, so he made it, and it's apparently pretty bad. They apparently use slur for Asian people quite a bit in the movie.
Yeah, it's set. it's set during the Vietnam War, and basically soldiers meets dinosaurs. It's it's Jurassic Park if a bunch of soldiers went in straight away, and the soldiers were the good guys or something.
God.
It's based on a book. It's not
So
an original IP.
That makes sense that no studios wanted to make that shit because it sounds fucking like it's kind of whitewashing Vietnam. Yeah. Well, so buddy, he specifically called out 3 people there, but he only tagged 1, which is interesting.
Are the other 2 both on Twitter?
I'm not sure. I'm sure
I'm
Jeremy
pretty
Johnson is.
confident they used to be, at least, but I don't know if they still are.
But yeah, there's that. And guess what? Guess who thinks it's a good movie? And yeah, specifically the guy does say in this that it doesn't have an agenda. Right. So
yeah, imagine making a film about the Vietnam War and not having an agenda. I mean,
right.
True.
That seems irresponsible to not have an agenda if you're going to.
Almost every film made from the start of the Vietnam War until 20 years after it was about the Vietnam War and how bad it was. So they all had
about
agendas.
dinosaurs, Ryan. That's what you're not getting. It's just not about that. It's about dinosaurs. So, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I mean, isn't not like if you're particular enough about it on what you're excluding versus including, maybe not having an agenda is having an agenda.
True.
Little mind blown there. Little.
And I'm not going to speak to the quality of the film. I'm not going to speak to the quality of the film because I haven't seen it. But yeah, to make an apolitical movie about the Vietnam War seems stupid.
Yes.
And
we don't know why these people are fighting. They're just fighting.
Yeah.
We don't know which side is more powerful or anything. They're just some people fighting.
And I know this is an Australian production. So, but that's all I know about it. It's yet another film trading off an unoriginal IP.
Oh
man,
5 likes. The director's got 5 likes on this. Good job, bud.
That's tough. Yeah, I mean, Twitter's so dead. Did you guys see that report where it's like 75% botted content? It's like 75% of the engagement on Twitter is bots
anymore. Yeah,
that's crazy. Oh my god, Elon fucked that platform. So I mean, it was bad for a long time, but he really
at least to a degree, it was organically bad for the most part. I mean, like now it's just like it's Musk bad. It's Nazi bad. All right.
Before we duck out, I am streaming tomorrow. We'll be covering some comic books, including Toxic Avenger, and of course, covering some Chuddery, of course. I have a Star Trek essay that I'm releasing about the Xindi conflict coming out next week. Please check it out because I'm enjoying making that stuff, and I'll probably just continue making it, even though it gets no views. But it's fun.
That is a
nicely
thing, my dude. That is a respectable thing to do.
Yeah, welcome to my world. Do it because you want it.
Yeah, you guys. I just don't do it if I don't think that like I'm. I've got a lot of shit that I've got to do otherwise, so that's why really. But like, yeah, if I can't justify the views, then I just don't make shit.
Hell yeah.
Well, I've kind of figured out a way. The videos come together really well, and it was a way for me to do an essay quickly, which will help out a lot because there's actually lots of stuff I've been wanting to make, and I haven't been able to make.
You used AI. Bob used AI.
Actually, I used Freeform, but okay.
Okay. Well, I just say I got to know.
How would you like to die today, Bob?
Yeah.
Well,
Brock, is that real?
Tomorrow?
Well, I had other plans for us tomorrow.
And what are we gonna do? Just like ride Bob into the sky?
Yes.
Wait, you're gonna wait? How can you kill me and then ride me into the sky? What the fuck?
You'll see. You'll see.
Wait, are you?
Ryan, subscribe to Nothing But Media as well. Watch.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He's not doing it for his agenda.
I also have videos that not many people want to watch, but I'll do it for me and I'll do it for the people.
If you want a true no
good
agenda
videos,
channel,
man.
Yeah, they are. Like legitimately, you know, the way things should be reviewed.
I've got a video dropping tomorrow.
Oh shit!
Nice.
It's I've been doing some Dragon Age stuff this week. On one of my favorite video game series, but crazy things are about to happen on my channel starting September. So,
Okay, crazy
watch
things
this
don't start
space.
September 1st. Then
I've got a really kind of something that I've been sitting on for a while. That's like a researched kind of piece with an interview in it. Hopefully, if I can actually get that, I've got it set up. So I just need to actually get the follow through. And I've got some like intensely researched like video game retrospective videos. I'm back on those now.
Nice.
And just a lot of wild stuff coming through the pipeline on the Chariot channel.
Very cool.
Subscribe to them and the others as well that are located in the description box. And hey, if you're not subscribed to me, you could do that, and then I could get the 25 subscribers I need to get to 8,000 subs right now.
Let's get Dane to 6-figure subscribers, everyone. Which I assume we have enough people here to do that. So let's go ahead.
Yeah, 79.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if a third of you subscribe to my channel that aren't subscribed, or I guess maybe some of you are, but you know, let's do it. Get me to 8,000. I'll be happy. I'll finally be enough. It'll be good.
Oh yeah, dude.
Maybe I'll finally subscribe to your channel.
Well, 8,000 is only 2,000 away from 10,000. So,
dude,
you know.
fucking Rags is subscribed to my channel. So like, come on, you don't want to be worse than
If
Rags.
he can do it,
I think
the
he's
rest of you
Rags
can
to
do it.
most
There
our
you go.
channels, so I mean,
What's funny is that Rags subscribes to everybody. Basically, it seems like that it potentially will criticize him, but he doesn't hide that. I guess I don't know if he's like trying to intimidate or he doesn't realize it. I don't know what's going on there, but it's pretty funny.
yeah, it's like you know your subscriptions are public, dude.
Yeah. Well,
Dane is actual fandom, Carlitos.
Yeah, that's me. That's what I do.
Yeah, actual fandom, organized chaos, nothing but media and Chariot. Make sure to like and subscribe to all our channels because we're all awesome.
JKung56, read books, like and subscribe, and free Palestine. Hell yes.
Yes,
Fuck
I
yeah.
agree. I love
those
that we
things.
have a non-Zionist Superman now.
Non-science Superman. Oh, there's this too. Check this out. Yep.
That's good.
If you're not a fan of the channel, if you think we suck, well, you know, we save the message for you for last.
Enjoy the negative grift, guys. I'm out.